honestly, I can't do a recap. I don't remember everything. I remember like the
Well,
last.
I mean,
2
to be
hours.
fair, you got closer with that recap than any that you would have done doing the Horde of the Dragon Queen. So I'll give you that.
You know what? That's a fair point because Horde of the Dragon Queen, I didn't remember anything the next week until we started playing.
I remember Lord Mittens Fuzzbottom the third.
Not dying.
I remember him.
I was going to say the recap of the week could pretty much just be which of Gabby's characters died last week, and then we can move on from there.
Pretty much.
And who was responsible for the death of Gabby's character.
That's true. That's true. Mm-hmm.
Mumbles had it twice.
So that's
You had
fun.
it 3 times.
I had it once.
Only died. But no, technically you did. You were responsible for 2.
I was
Well,
almost a part of it
indirectly,
in the last one.
Indirectly, the last one. That one wasn't actually my fault. That was Morley's personal
Okay, moving on.
fault.
Okay.
Get this started.
Right. So that was really all I had to begin. So officially, welcome to session 2 of the Epic of Theros. Where last we left off, the group last week managed to encounter a couple of returned, a few returned. One of which was dead on arrival. The other 2 rode up to you and proceeded to kill a couple civilians and then attack the group. You managed to overcome that encounter. The city guard came in to basically clean up the mess, and you proceeded into the city of Akros, where you had this feeling you had been driven to go to after the shared dream that you all had. There in Akros, you visited the various temples and worship places of your deities, and then were either at or on your way back at one point or another to the Fiery Goddess Bathhouse, which is owned by none other than your party member Rhorakas' parents. So as we pick up, you were all on your way back, and for this we will say you have just arrived at the Fiery Goddess and are all together in one of the 2 rooms that you have for the night, and that is where we will pick up.
Oh, you're back. Yay.
Yes, we always had planned on returning. This is my home.
I will come up from underwater because I was underwater.
How long were you down there?
The whole time, pal. That's where we spend our time.
Dude, I know you don't need to breathe, but does the Minotaur not need to breathe?
Nope.
Ducky, you're kind of quiet for me. I have you on 200% also.
Muting yourself does not help.
That depends on what you're trying to do. Wait, why am I saying that in character?
You're not wrong.
Don't worry about it, mate. We're all going to be doing it a lot tonight.
Well, shall we have that discussion that we all talked about?
Check.
No, you're still very quiet.
Am I quiet for anyone else?
Yes.
Yep.
I don't know what's changed.
Your mic settings.
Nope, they
Go into
haven't.
Discord and put your input volume at max.
Is that better?
No.
No,
How about now?
nothing
No.
changed.
It's not so bad that we can't tell.
Yeah, it's just on the VOD, it won't really show up.
That's right. We should be able to get enough of it.
Is that better?
No.
It's not changing.
Hold on.
She's gonna come
about
back
now?
in here and like blow our ears off. No.
I don't know what's changed.
Did you update your
Weird.
computer and now you're using your laptop instead of your headset?
when it switches to the webcam or something. That's annoying.
Yeah. Change your input to your actual headset mic instead of default.
COVID Dungeons and Dragons, how we love you.
I'm also just not realizing that I didn't get on Founder yet. Oops.
Go ahead and jump in there.
Yes,
I
the
didn't know that he
address
saw me.
is.
So, what's the plan here? Do we have a plan?
Not quite yet, but I know that Adwenis wanted to address us about something.
You know, the only direction I got from my god was to stick with you lot.
Same here.
Mine's not a talkative sort of guy.
I think I just got
Neither
to
is
wait.
mine,
I'm not
but-
entirely sure.
Are you guys
You aren't
coming
so
in the
soaking
pool?
wet.
Or should we get out?
No, Rhorakas, is there a quiet place away from prying ears?
I feel as though my room may work.
Oh yes, I wanted to take a look at that thing that we weren't going to speak of.
Yes, we should do that. And she's just going to lead you all to her own room because why not?
I'm gonna climb out of the bath and follow behind. I'm not actually gonna bother toweling off, and yes, I'm still fully clothed.
I
Do
too
you mind
fully
drying
clothed. We'll
off
just get out
before
of,
going
we'll
in
just
my
get out of the
room?
bath. Don't worry, water just wicks right off of us. My mother's design.
I would prefer that you dry off. I do not want my room to have water in it.
There is no water. Did you not listen? It just falls off. I stand up and the water doesn't even cling to my clothes.
I still think that's a neat trick.
Well, she is a genius after all.
She a nice lady. You all would like her.
So is my mother. All mothers seem to be. Anyway, let's go.
Okie dokie.
And Adwenis, you can take over from here.
Okay. As the door closes, I will sit down, just crisscross. It has come to my attention, recently, that I appear to be an oracle.
Whaticle?
Oracle. The gods talk to me, and talk through me sometimes. It has not happened yet.
Then how do you know?
It had not happened previous to the encounter on the stairs.
I didn't hear any gods on the stairs.
You did not, but I did. I stopped for a while.
Oh yeah, we were wondering what happened to you. Thought you might have just been in shock.
No, I was
I thought you were
getting
having some
told
sort of
information
seizure.
by a deity.
Yes, some people can't really deal with fighting as good as other people like us.
I can handle myself.
You showed that quite well in the battle against the masked freaks. Do you know who they were?
They were probably assassins.
Undead. Those who have left the underworld. But they took the easy way out, so they do not remember themselves.
Then what is the point?
Coming back to life.
But they're not
The
coming
neat
back to
trick.
life. They're something else now, I guess.
Correct, they are empty husks of what they once were, but they are alive again.
Hello, hello, hello.
I hear
Oh,
you.
you're still quiet.
Wow, where's that voice coming from?
That
So,
does
can y'all hear me now?
that
I
does
haven't
not,
been able
I hear
to.
the gods. They're speaking to me.
Am I still quiet?
Yeah.
You're better though.
You got a little bit louder.
It doesn't really
Yeah,
make
a little
sense
loud.
to me.
Okay.
It seems so pointless to come back to life for someone else's purpose.
No, you're yourself, but you're not yourself. You have a body, but your soul is not the same.
I like my soul.
Then I would not recommend going that way.
My dad gave me this soul. And he
Then
gave
I
me
would
this body,
definitely not
too.
recommend going that way.
In a strange way, his dad also gave me my soul.
That's true. And body.
Weird. Which we still need to talk about that, but that's besides the point for now. Please continue, Adwenis.
And so, I needed to talk to Crofix. Although he doesn't really talk, it's more of feelings that I get. I cannot say much, but things have been set in motion that are very bad for one of us in particular. With our combined strength, and I will look at both Kiala and Zonnos, and sticking together and being friendly with each other and growing our bonds, we will be able to overcome it. Or at least put a halt on it till we find a better way.
Does it have anything to do with those things that came at us in the dream and said they were coming for us?
Yes. I have faith that Crofix has not led me astray.
You said that it would be bad for one of us in particular. Can you say who?
What was that?
You said it would be bad for one of us in particular. Can you say who?
I have been forbidden to speak of that. I apologize.
Don't worry, love.
Self-fulfilling
If there's ever something bad to be happening to a group of people, it's always to me.
That nose
mean,
gets you into a lot of trouble,
He
doesn't
does
it?
seem to follow you around a lot.
I know. It's like a lion just leaning on my back the whole time. I'm just trying to live my life, and this thing just keeps coming back and back and back. It's time to go back to sea. I hear cats hate water.
The water is good on your joints.
I deeply apologize that I cannot speak more, but I have been quite explicitly forbidden.
Oh no.
Maybe we can just get some answers out of you soon.
I'm not looking for answers. I'm just expressing my sincere expectation. I'm definitely gonna be the target of this. Always have been, always will.
Just for reference, I don't like Crofix. But I will try
That's
not to
alright.
hold that against you.
I do not like the deity of another member of this ragtag band, but I don't hold it against them either.
I don't like Theros, but I won't hold it against you, Hagen.
Are we supposed to hug it out?
I don't think that's quite what we were going for,
Good,
but okay.
I didn't really want to hug it out. I was just making sure.
We all have our differences, but we need to
I
overcome
don't like people touching me.
So, did this god of yours tell you where we should go next?
I sincerely wish he had, but Crufix is not straightforward at all.
Well,
Not a
maybe
big
that
fan of
mask that we
information
picked
in
up
general.
will...
Really odd.
Indeed, there are more stanzas on the mask that I would like to investigate further.
Well, we've got time now. Let's see it.
We have all night.
Did they give you any direction other than stay together?
I think you're expecting far too much of Crufix.
That's
I
right.
am to make my own way, and I trust that he will guide me when I go astray. It is not like the gods that you may follow, where they are with you every step of the way. Crufix is with me when I need him. Nothing more, nothing less.
Perforos is always with me.
If you'll remember...
She's gonna give a little bit of a slight scared look, then go back to normal when Hagen mentions that Perforos is always near him.
I'm going
If
to not
you'll-
notice.
If you'll remember your theology, Crufix is sort of a god of balance. When the other gods get out of line, it is him that steps in.
You think that's what's happening now? Someone's getting out of line?
I know someone is getting out of line. And they're trying to drag the rest of them down.
It's not me, right?
I wish I could say.
But I have done nothing. I have not got out of line.
You see,
I'm
that's
not
the-
talking about you specifically.
That's
not
what I
talking
was
about us
asking. I was asking if
specifically.
it was me that was out of line. I don't want to be out of line.
She's talking about the gods.
On a
Most
cosmic
people,
scale.
most people assume it's the Minotaur, but we're not all bad people. Minotaurs.
I assure you I know that.
It's me. I know a fellow Minotaur.
Yes, speaking of, we were never able to speak to your friends. Who were they?
They were a group of people that I travel from here to Melitus with frequently.
Oh, I was born in Melitus.
Surprised that we have not crossed paths until now.
Well, you know, there was a whole Kraken incident the day of my birth. My parents didn't really stick around, if you know what I mean.
I'm sorry.
Did you say Kraken?
Yes, Kraken.
It's a fascinating story if you want him to tell it.
Well, I would say yes, but I think there are more important things to discuss right now. Maybe some other time?
Yeah. Another time
It's
we can give
fine.
a crack at it.
I will give him fist bump.
Kiala snorted a little bit and then regained her composure
Are
quickly.
you cosplaying Ellem?
She's going to. Rhorakas is just going to roll her eyes at the pun.
So, these masks that you said you found, I don't remember anything from after the battle. But
They wouldn't
They
expect
wouldn't
you
being
to. You went
unconscious and everything.
unconscious.
I'll pull out the two normal ones, the ones that don't have the unique inscription on them, and I'll lay them out.
May I investigate one of them?
Absolutely. I will hand one of them over.
I'm more interested in the third one you've picked up.
We can go over that after
say
a little while.
So you all are examining the two masks from the ones that you killed.
Yes,
Okay.
the ones that are in common.
Yeah.
The inscription on them, I believe, I wrote it down somewhere.
it's
Wrong button. story.
Silence the heretic Varias. His secrets must remain dead.
That is correct.
Can you put that in the chat?
Yes, I will.
That seems foreboding, especially considering what they were doing.
Oh, they did indeed silence a heretic.
You think that's what the first one was?
No. I do not believe that's what the cipher on the third mask is about.
But who is the
Two that
heretic?
they killed were heretics.
Would I be able to roll a religion check about the heretic?
Actually, make a history check.
Okay. I'm actually better at history, so.
Ooh.
Krufik speaks to me, and I listen.
Freaking Oracle.
So, Various you do know a little bit about. And what you know about him is that he was an oracle. And he was also a devoted follower of Phoenix, I believe is how you say it.
That's the god of passage, right?
Phoenix is the god of the returned. Phoenix was mortal. So, and you know this. So this is part. So you know that Phoenix was mortal, died, and went to the underworld, and he was the first one to find a way to escape the underworld and come back to the world of the living. And when he did, he became so popular amongst the people, this idea that he actually ascended into godhood and became a god. And so Phoenix is now the god of the returned. And the city of Adwenis is built in his honor. And so you know that Various was very much a fanatical follower of Phoenix, and believed that whenever he passed away, Phoenix would indeed have something for him to do in the underworld and information to return with.
I can't find Adwenis on the map. Is it somewhere?
It's directly
Odunos, yeah.
Yeah,
I was looking
Odun's.
for okay, got it.
Yeah, so was I.
It's an accent problem.
Yeah, it's okay. So he believed that when he passed away, Phoenix would have something for him to do.
That's correct. And that is what you know. Rhorakas knew of Kea, who that was whenever you first examined. Well, we'll get to that. Oh, I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. We'll get to but that is what you know of Various in life. You don't know what his current situation is, then.
Correct. Now that I'm thinking about Various, could I try to understand what Orestes' rot is? If it's a place, if it's a thing that happens.
Yeah, so you don't have to make a roll for that. Orestes' rot is just it's one of those things. It's an urban legend that you've heard of, and everyone who you ask about it has a different explanation for what it is. Some people believe it's a place, some people believe it's a treasure, some people believe it's an exit from the underworld back into the mortal realm. No one quite seems to know for sure, but you've heard a lot of the myths and rumors about what Orestes' rot is. Just not sure. There's really no concrete information on that you would be able to draw from.
That was ROT, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. I will. I'll explain who Varias is for the people who don't know. I won't talk about Orestes' rot yet.
Okay.
So, what do we do from here?
Now that is a great question.
Thank you. That's why I ask it.
Well, we're going to need to figure out that other mask if we're going to be delving into that.
Do we happen to know what language is written on there in?
It's a
It's
cipher.
a cipher. It's not a language. It's difficult to break.
Hmm.
I'll look
I'm
at
gonna crack at it.
Yeah, I'll look at Zonnos and say, we should take a look at it while the others are doing something else. I don't want to take up too much time while we have it together.
You expecting to go somewhere?
I believe there was a conversation that needed to be had between Rhorakas and Hagen.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
we do need to get on that conversation, but we have all night to get to it.
And we have
I
plenty of
think-
time to break the cipher.
Why don't we let Zonnos work on that while they discuss?
Fine. Hagen,
Well-
shall we go to the guest room?
I mean,
Oh, you can stay in your room, Rhorakas. Zonnos and I can go to the guest room.
Would
Alright.
you like the rest of us to leave, Rhorakas?
That would be most appreciated.
We can do that. We'll go to the guest room.
It's all right. I'm in need of a little bit of a nap anyway. Sounds like a plan to me.
I'm gonna hit the restroom real fast. I will be using the help action for when Rhorakas tries to break the cipher based on what I've already broken.
Thanks, Zonnos.
Yeah, sorry. Zonnos.
You're good.
Oh, Micro is so out of it today.
Okay.
I turned my mic up because people were complaining about me being quiet.
All right. So
We can actually hear you tonight.
I prefer it. He can turn you down.
Yeah, it's actually quite loud now.
Yeah.
All right.
I
So
think it's perfect.
for my own clarification,
Mm-hmm.
so Zonnos and Adwenis are attempting to find a quiet place for the two of them to examine the mask. They've gone to do so.
And Rhorakas
Rhorakas
is
and Hagen are going to have a conversation, just the two of them.
Yes.
Okay, so what I need to know is, Adwenis and Zonnos are in one place, Hagen and Rhorakas. So Kiala and Ellem, where will you be?
Heading to the guest room.
Yeah, we're heading to the guest. We're heading out of Rhorakas's room so she can talk to Hagen.
There's only one guest room, and I let Zonnos and Adwenis go to the guest room.
They
Okay.
can join us. I'll be talking to him in Primordial, though, if there are people around.
That's fun.
So the four of you are in the guest room. The two of you, Hagen and Rhorakas, are in Rhorakas's bedroom.
Yes.
Would the two of you like to have this conversation out of the voice chat with the group?
That is up to Hagen.
I have nothing to hide.
Yeah, I just asked. So for the purpose of this, no one else is around to hear, so it'll just be whatever stays between the two of you. I just wondered how much and what you wanted to reveal at what time to the rest. So let's start with the two of you then. Go ahead and begin your conversation.
Alright. So, Hagen, you had pondered why I chose to not go to Theros, correct?
Yes, he's very good to me. And
He is not very...
he's the one who gave you life.
and he tried to take it away from me.
Did you deserve it?
And I don't believe that I do.
Well, then he should take it away from you.
I said that I meant that.
I'm gonna mute now.
What I mean is that I do deserve my life.
But if you are not giving back to he who gave you life, why do you deserve it?
Because it's off of a simple flaw that most people have.
And what is that?
Well, I'm not as bright as he wishes me to be. Most people are not as bright as their parents wish them to be. And he wishes to take away my life just because I can't do a simple, a complicated puzzle.
Well, if that's what he need you for, then you should learn how to do puzzle. Which god did you find that was better for you?
Well, actually, my god found me. I came into this town fearful for my life and ended up saving one of the street commoners that roamed around, and my god apparently chose me to do her biddings or whatever she wishes.
And who is that?
That would be Rhorakas. The god of medicine and affliction.
But Perforos, I don't like it.
Well, you don't have to. It is my choice, after all, who I choose to have guide me in this world.
I suppose.
Besides, she does end up protecting me against powerful foes when I'm fighting in the dueling circuit.
Perhaps. I will talk to Perforos for you, and I'll get it fixed. It'll be better.
If you can somehow manage to do that, then by all means. But until then, I don't trust him.
I don't know why not. He's very nice.
He has sought to destroy me since I was small.
Well,
I do not believe him to be nice.
perhaps, but other than that, he's very nice.
I'll take your word for it.
I will talk with him.
All right.
And I'm just going to awkwardly stand there, not moving, because I do that a lot.
So does she.
It's not awkward for either of us.
Nope.
It's extremely awkward.
Not for us, though. We're fine.
We do it all the time.
Oh my goodness. All right, so the two of you stand there awkwardly for a while.
That was beautiful. I just
So-
want you to know that.
It's only awkward if you let it.
That's
Indeed.
pretty awkward, buddy.
You think you'd be used to it?
There's just some
Doesn't
guy
make it
sitting
any
in the
less awkward.
corner Don't make it weird, man. Don't make it weird.
Eldritch Blast.
Huh? Why are you in my bedroom?
Are you in your
Out
party
of my
member?
bedroom, you weird freak.
Alright. So,
Is it Perforos?
no,
God, if it's Perforo, she would be out of that room in a second.
let me get over to Fantasy Name Generator and I'll tell you what their name is and what they look like. Alright. So, you two, anything else before we check in on the others?
No, except for that she is still wary of Hagen.
You don't have to tell Hagen that.
Yes, you do. He's kind of oblivious.
You can just leave that in the silence between where you two stand awkwardly and begin staring at each other. We kind of got that.
Yeah, it's not really staring. It's kind of low power mode.
That's show and don't tell. So, all right. So we'll hop over to a room just down the hall, where you all are going to, where Adwenis and Zonnos are going to begin examining the third mask. So upon taking the mask back out for examination, you notice for a moment that all the sounds around you, the creaking on the floor, the breaths that your companions take, the movement and the rattling of armor, and the crinkling of clothes becomes nothing more than a whisper. Everything becomes dulled. Color drains from your vision, and you see everything only in gray, except for one thing: the mask. It is bright and golden and seems almost to have a shine to it. And then, as quickly as the moment came, color returns, and the mask dims, and sounds return to normal.
Was that just the person who took it out of the bag, or is that all of us?
That is all of you in the room that were looking at the mask when it was taken out.
Okay.
In Primordial, I'm going to look at Adwenis and say, did they do that last time?
It did not. It appears the mask is reacting to us. We should hurry this along. And I'll pull out my notes on the previous prophecy, or the previous line.
And
This
to
is what I
everybody
have
that-
so far.
To everybody that can hear us, it just sounds like we're grinding our teeth at each other.
That is true.
Unless, of course, you speak primordial.
So,
Ellem, do you speak primordial?
No, most certainly do not.
Alright, we'll just sit here and watch them growl at each other.
Let's go ahead for the purposes of this, as you've witnessed this occur and you've experienced it. Go ahead, both Zonnos and Adwenis, make a religion check for me.
could I assist him?
Yes, you may. So may roll with advantage. 17. Yeah, that'll do it. So Zonnos, you've actually read about things like this occurring, and you realize from your reading that this is most commonly an omen from Finax. You're not entirely sure what exactly this omen means, but you do know, you get the distinct feeling that Finax is now very interested in what you're doing.
So
And do we both understand that because I helped him with it?
Yeah.
I assume I'm thinking out loud.
Yeah. I just figured since I helped you with it, we both got to the same conclusion.
Yes.
You know, we're sitting there riffing off of each other. Totally my least favorite subject in school.
I never really took a subject like that. Mine was mostly fishing.
Oh, that must have been nice.
It wasn't.
So I'm going to start examining the cipher and see if I can make anything out of it.
And I'll be helping him by showing him my notes on what I've already uncovered.
Okay. By examining it, and even with time, so I'll say that with the time that you spend together, the knowledge between the two of you, essentially what Zonnos is able to do is confirm what you've already read. But the more time that the two of you spend together on this, bouncing ideas back and forth, attempting to decipher it together, you realize that that's going to be a very difficult task for the two of you, because the words, the cipher on the mask itself appears to be incomplete. You can't quite break all of it because there appears to be letters missing that you do not have.
Well, I guess I know what we're going to be doing now. Question
So-
is, where do we start?
I know where to start.
How
There's
convenient.
a crazy old lady who lives just outside of
And a
Akros.
shoe? She have lots
No.
of kids? Oh, okay.
No, her
Sorry.
name is Kea.
I've read a lot of books.
Her name is right there on this mask.
Oh,
Let's start with her.
well, that's a good a place as any.
As you look, it is like the only clear word on the mask is her name.
How do you spell
Everything
that?
else was a bit scrambled. Khea. Adwenis has heard of Kea, and I don't know, Rhorakas is. But you basically know that she lives somewhere in the direct vicinity of Akros.
Even more convenient.
I know, it's almost like this was written to be explored and gone to.
Alright, so we're gonna go to Adwenis, right?
I mean, that's the only logical source. I mean,
Well,
We
I
should go
don't
to
have
Mount
anything.
came
Velas.
from
Well, I don't have
Um,
anything prepared for that, so we'll go ahead and end tonight's session here.
Mount Velas might also be an appropriate spot to venture to.
Mhm.
As I frantically turn to the back of my DM binder looking for anything I have written on it.
Maybe Winter's Heart.
I was thinking
Oh.
Testos myself.
I heard about these amazing whales out in the Saran Sea.
So you're
But-
distinctly aware, Zonnos, from being like a semi-aquatic being, that there are no whales in Theros.
Aquatic
Unfortunately,
haggling mammal.
there aren't any in the Siren Sea.
And actually-
I think the mer people ate them.
Adwenis, you didn't.
I would just like to take this moment to thank our DM for gifting me with an amulet of plane shifting.
Your DM did no such thing.
And me with a broom of flying.
I also didn't do that.
I have a scroll of or a wand of Jim's magic missiles.
As I also frantically turn through my DM binder and try to and hope to God that I didn't take cough syrup and accidentally give y'all stuff.
Why would that be in your DM binder?
You've
Took
never-
cough
you-
syrup at 3:45
Session 1.
PM.
Drank 8 milligrams of cough syrup.
Well, I mean, even intoxicated me would still know to make notes in my DM binder. Let's be honest.
That is true.
So that is
I never
also
wrote
in a
notes for
that is
DM.
also in a cipher that I have not rolled high enough to crack yet.
So I'm gonna look up at Adwenis, still in Primordial, and say, so why are we speaking Primordial?
There is a saying amongst followers of Crofix that too much knowledge is more dangerous than not enough.
I highly disagree.
You are allowed to.
The more knowledge you have, the more options you have available, and the more wisdom you can impart into your decisions.
And the more things come crashing down around you. It's happened many a time. You just
Only
need
to
be
the
careful.
unwise.
It's happened to the gods. Why do you think Crofix is necessary?
Perhaps.
Have you two discovered anything yet?
I wish. You've only confirmed what I read. The cipher is incomplete.
We might have a lead, though.
So I've got a question, right? This is probably a very bad idea. I'm very good at those. You said that there's a particular place where like all these fellas come from.
Well, not a place particular. They come from the underworld.
Okay, but like there's a place they congregate around here without having to deal with all the death and things.
The followers of Phoenix do tend to congregate in Adwenis.
Well, I'm just wondering, can we just go over there and just like kill a bunch of them, grab their mass, and see if we can fill out the rest of the cipher?
If you would like to die, yes.
Like I said, it's probably a bad idea. Just thought it might be worth floating it to the rest of the group, see what happens.
Yes, I agree. It's a very, very bad idea.
Did the colors dim for you a moment ago?
Indeed, I intend to investigate that.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't the concussion.
Does for me. Does that for me all the time, love. Don't pay no mind.
That's because you pass out.
Well, that's one way of thinking about it.
That is the only logical conclusion.
Do we know what that means?
Not
No.
yet.
That's
We
why I
will.
intend to investigate it.
It's usually what the word means. To understand the things that you do not currently understand.
So should we... What time of day is it, Mumbles?
Very late at night.
It's very
It
late,
is-
right?
It is the
okay.
middle of the night.
Okay.
Perhaps we should get some sleep and revisit all of this in the morning.
Should we go and check on Rhorakas and Hagen? I haven't heard anything from the other room in a while.
I'm sure they're fine. They're Hagen's probably just standing there.
Just standing there?
Yeah, when he tends to think, he just kind of stops moving. He's not really good at thinking and moving at the same time.
Can he chew gum and walk?
Why would he chew gum?
I do think we need to get some rest before we do whatever we're going to do.
Yes, that's what I just said.
Yes, I know. So maybe we should go find Rhorakas and find out where we are all staying tonight.
I believe it's this room and his or her room.
Okay.
That is what she said before.
Well, I don't know about you, but I don't think I want to share a room with, you.
Nope, I've been waiting for you to leave this entire time.
Would you like me to send Hagen this direction?
If you could, please.
That can be done.
I will pick up all 3 of the masks and put them back into my backpack as I stand up.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, I'll go into the other. I'll knock on the door and see if anyone responds.
She will walk up, sort of come back to life almost, and open up the door. How's everything? How did the talk in there go?
Uneventful.
Seems to be the same in here.
I think we should get some rest.
I agree. Hagen, if you could kindly go to the other room.
Okie dokie.
Before I leave the room with Ellem, I will turn to him and say, if you leave, I will find you.
You always do, love.
And I'll just turn around and go into the room with Adwenis and Kiala. Nope, Adwenis and Rhorakas. I'm Kiala.
Indeed, you are. Okay.
Now, before we take this long rest, Rhorakas doesn't particularly have a bed in her room, so you all have to use the floor.
That's fine. I prefer it.
Yeah. I'll be doing something at like 3 a.m. I'll wake up and do something when everyone else is asleep, hopefully.
I'll pull out my bedroll and
I don't actually have a bedroll.
lay down on the floor.
I chose a scholar's pack.
I'm just standing by the window.
Actually, buddy, if you don't mind moving over to the side and facing the door.
You always worried about things.
Just trying to keep us safe. As I ritually cast alarm and put it over the windowsill.
Okay.
Gotta cover us on both fronts.
Okie dokie.
And that'll be a silent alarm in my head.
All right.
Can you
Good
put
to
it in
know.
my head
Just-
too?
No, I can only put it in one in my head or just out loud for everybody to hear.
Okay. So, for the purposes of this, who intends to go ahead and take their long rest?
I do.
I will be, but I'll be doing like 2 hours of essentially watch in like the early morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's going to take her long rest, and as she does, you will see her go into a sort of attack pose and become stiff. Wings spread out and looking like a statue.
Do you do that immediately?
Oh, yes.
Gonna just kind of look at Adwenis and be like, are you gonna have a hard time sleeping with that there?
Just don't look away. Every time you look away, she gets a little closer.
Or blink?
If I had a hard time sleeping next to statues, it would be very difficult in the cities.
Do you sleep next to statues a lot?
There's always a statue close. You could look out the window. I'm sure you'd see one.
Yes, but not in the room with us.
I've slept underneath statues on my way here. It's actually one of the safer places to sleep, underneath a shrine to a god or something. People won't generally mess with you.
I guess that is logical. There aren't many statues where I come from.
I'm sure you'll see on the roads around here.
I've seen many already. Are you sure you're alright from earlier?
What do you mean?
Well, I know you said you had a vision, but you seemed to be in pain when you came out of it.
I was. You were in more pain when that, dagger pierced you, I'm sure.
I'm used to it.
As I will get used to mine.
So this is new for you.
Yes. Quite new. But I am nothing if not adaptable. And I will hold out my hand where there's sort of like a gecko, where it has like little suction cups at the tips of each finger.
Mm-hmm.
Very adaptable.
Alright, do your other hands look like that?
Yeah, my hands do, and if I took off my shoes, my feet do too.
Okay. That's... Do Zonnos' hands look like that?
Like with the suction cups?
Yeah.
No, Zonnos has webbed hands from what you can tell between the digits.
Yeah, they're basically normal. There's just a little bit more webbing in between.
Okay. So
yeah, and you from where you're from would be very familiar with these nuances in between creatures, realizing that obviously Zonnos' body is very well adapted. Like, you look at his hands and you can tell that that's more for swimming, and you can look at Adwenis's and tell that their hands like that would be more for climbing or hanging onto something.
Okay. Alright. Interesting. I hadn't noticed that before.
I don't tend to show it off. It's better if people think that I am like Zonnos. More acceptable.
So you're not like Zonnos. Where are you from?
I'm from the Darker Isles. Well, one island in particular that does not exist. But that is a story for another time, Kiala. I'm sure you must be tired.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yeah.
I will make sure the statue does not bite.
Do you need a blanket? I have an extra.
It would be appreciated, but not necessary.
I'll hand over my blanket.
Thank you.
Good night, Adwenis.
Night.
So, Ellem, what's the deal with the cat?
Well, as you may have noticed, she doesn't trust me for anything. She seems to be under the impression that I have stolen something from her and her people, which, well, frankly, I haven't the slightest foggiest recollection of in the slightest.
I can see why.
You're right. And so she has decided that she is going to hand me quite against her species thing, until I can remember what it is that I stole and where I might have gotten rid of it. Which is, as you can probably understand, quite inconvenient.
Yes, I could see how so. But surely someone such as yourself could easily lose her if you really wanted to. You seem to stick around out of principle or something.
Principle's kind of a strong word. I'm just kind of a lonely sort, I've had kind of a rough sport for the first couple hundred years of my life, and so just getting to this point, I kind of just have the feeling like sometimes it's nice to be wanted. Even despite the fact that she doesn't actually want anything to do with me, but it's kind of a necessary evil, I think. Maybe.
Well, it seems like the gods all want us. Does that make you feel better?
That's another very interesting point. The gods and me don't really get along all that well. I may have mentioned this earlier. Every time something's about to go wrong in a situation, it's usually going wrong or bad directly around me. So I'm actually kind of very concerned. The last group of people who tried to be, in close proximity to me, they all kind of ended up on the bottom of the ocean.
I like the bottom of the ocean. There's very pretty coral and people there.
I'm assuming that for you, it's kind of a very different thing for them because they needed to breathe and they couldn't do it underwater.
Yes, they should work on that.
Yeah, the working on it is kind of like way past them at this point. They're just dead.
That makes me sad.
Yeah, it made me sad too. And then I found myself a nice little pub to crawl into, and then I got thrown out a couple of weeks later.
So you said that was your fault. Are you trying to say you've killed people before?
Well, you were there when I killed the faceless.
Well,
fella.
yes, I mean innocent people.
Innocent people. That's a very interesting question. I'm never really actually the whole killing thing is kind of new to me. I'm going to be honest. Never really had that much of a need to do it. Usually, if I was inclined, perhaps in rare circumstances, to be involved in something less than savoury, all I'd really have to do is just kind of show my face, and then people would just kind of do whatever I wanted them to. They just give me money that was theirs, or they would just try and get me to leave them alone as much as possible. And it worked out really well for me up until now, of course.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of things that are very unusual, what's up with your bow?
Oh, my bow. Yeah. So
I wanted to look at that. Yes.
Well, you can take a look at it. It's kind of delicate. I'm going to be honest. Sometimes it doesn't work right. The idea is that there's a little spring here that pushes the arrows. I mean, you can't use full-size arrows in here. It's not strong enough to do that. But it's got these little bolts in there, and it pushes them against the little stopper on the inside. And if you pull back on the string, on that little handle there, it's connected to the string, it pulls back, gets behind the arrow, and then when you pull the little trigger in the end, it releases the string and shoots the arrow. It makes it a lot easier for me to be able to shoot, because I'm not particularly strong. And so being able to have an assisting device like this makes it a lot easier for me to aim and to fire more rapidly.
Hagen, I don't know if you've noticed, but it kind of sounds like the thing that you made for the Admiral. I wonder if maybe you could help him work out the kinks he's got going on with it?
What kinks do you have?
Well, you see, I might just not be particularly adept at using it, because it's, like I said, I'm kind of new to the whole shooting people thing. But I'm definitely not getting within arm's reach of anyone. If you get my drift, it's really not my style. So kind of shooting them in the distance works a lot better, and this has become considerably more necessary as the lion keeps getting me into trouble. Anyway, so you pull back. What was the question? I quite forgot.
What's wrong with it?
So sometimes it doesn't pick up the arrow properly, or it and then the strings in front of the arrow, or sometimes it'll kind of like not come out and totally straight. and it'll kind of like bury itself a little bit into the wood in the front of it, and I got to pull that out, and then later on I got to go back in there and kind of clean it out, refresh it, put a different piece of wood in there. Just kind of just like little things that don't quite work out quite right. I did kind of just throw it together when my boat crashed. Was sunk actually, and after that, I had a piece of the masthead, and I kind of carved that into the bows, into the arms, the limbs of the bow there, and then that was part of the mast and things that just kind of put the little box on there, make it work better.
Hagen's just gonna sit down on the ground right where he is and pull out his tinker's tools, and just start poking it and maybe cleaning it a little bit, and just sort of trying to understand how it works.
Don't worry, pal. If there's anybody in this world that can do something with your bow, it's my pal Hagen.
He seems very, very competent, I think. I'm not particularly all that good at inventing things, but I did have some time to learn how some things worked when I was younger. I just spent a lot of time kind of in a single room reading a lot of books, despite how I look and act and probably smell. But that's a whole other story.
This actually very, very impressive.
Well, thank you. Like I said, it was just they say that necessity is the mother of invention, and I definitely had some necessity, and now I have an invention.
My mother very nice.
I'm actually quite curious about how that all works.
Well, but I mean, adopted mother, obviously.
Okay.
You'd like her. She's smart.
You know, I have to be honest. There's not particularly that many females that I've met that I didn't like. To some extent or another.
She's married, pal.
Did I say anything? You're impugning me on at this point.
Yeah, what do you mean? Of course she's married. She's married to my father.
But now you say that you adopted.
Well, they both did it together. Because if only one of them did it, then the other one would just be like, what is this? That wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, let's just leave that alone for tonight.
Okay.
Well, seems like we have an adventure ahead of us. So I'm gonna get some shut-eye.
You get sleep. I'm going to play with this bow for a few hours.
All right. I might need to use that a little bit in the morning, but you can go ahead and use it, and I'll just kind of let you know when I might have a need for it.
Okie dokie.
Anyway, you guys certainly seem pleasant enough, and you certainly helped me keep the lion off my back. So you're a-okay in my book so far.
She's not okay in my book.
You seem like very nice fellow.
Yes, sometimes.
I think she judges you too harshly.
I mean, there's not even really any proof that I took the thing that she says I took, so, you know.
Did you take the thing that she says you took?
No, that's not the conversation that we were having.
Who's to say that she's not the one that took it?
It might
She's
have
just
been
blaming
her.
it on you.
I
That seems like the kind of person she is.
I don't think you took it. I think you were a good person.
I'm so happy to hear that. It's gonna make the rest of our time together considerably easier.
Just don't stab me in the hand.
Like I said, stabbing people not really my thing. Anyway, if there's nothing else, I'm gonna get me some shut-eye, and I suppose I'll see you gents in the morning.
Okie dokie. Good night.
All right. Is there anything else?
I just want to play with the bow and see if I can discover the reason for any of the problems he's having with it or not.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna study the mask.
Okay.
And after,
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yep. Yep. No, you know.
Oh. So Hagen, go ahead and make me.
I thought I might be doing this.
Make me an intelligence check first.
Ooh, that's good. 17 plus 4, 21.
Okay. Now make a check with your Tinker's tools.
Yeah, how do I do that?
D20
Uh-huh.
plus dexterity plus proficiency bonus.
Plus dex. That's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to add 1 to extra life. And then 4.
4.
Yeah. With the natural 1, did I break it?
No.
Oh, good.
I mean, it's a 4.
But at one point while I'm working on it, there's definitely, you hear a little, whoops.
Yeah, so you
Some panic.
you have your tools out, and
Twang,
you
ow.
you sort of in your mind you have this great picture of how this bow works by looking at it and examining it, and your overall knowledge of making weaponry and such, right? From growing up. However, as you go to work with your tools, it's the middle of the night. It's a bit dark in the room that you're in, and not exactly, it's not the easiest thing to get your tools around. And working through it, you manage to accidentally slip and cut the bowstring. Luckily, you had a replacement for that, but it takes you the better part of half the night to get it back together. Once you do that, you go back to work, and again, you're examining this bow, and you manage to get your tinker tool stuck, and you have bent it, your primary tool. So until you get a new set of tinker tools, you will not be able to add your proficiency bonus to checks with it.
Well, this was not a good night.
So you get a -2 to check with your tinker's tools until you get a new set. The consequences of examining a foreign object with only a book knowledge.
Yeah. Okie dokie. I'm just gonna put it back on his on the side of his like, I don't know, nightstand or something. I don't know if there's a nightstand. I'm just gonna put it near him somewhere, or like where his pack.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna stand there staring at the door for a while.
Fair enough. So, Adwenis, you're going to study the mask?
Yeah, I'm going to take it out of the bag again, first of all. Does the same thing happen where the color kind of fades?
No, it doesn't. Nothing happens this time. When just by yourself, you take the mask out and go to examine it. There's no graying out of the colors. There's no everything becomes soft.
I wouldn't be able to tell it's darkness, and I have dark vision, so all I see is gray right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So, nothing different happens than when you first picked up the mask.
Okay.
Right? You remember picking up. It seemed very sort of. It seemed just like any other mask of the return that you could handle. It was just that one time, whenever you were sort of gathered together in a small group.
I'm gonna
examining it.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend an hour just focusing on it as if I was like attuning to an item, and just see if anything happens.
Okay. You spend an hour on it, and it's just long day. Your eyes are heavy. You just can't seem to get much out of it with what is missing from the cipher. There's not something that you have at your disposal as of this time that helps you bridge the words together when they're missing letters and you already don't exactly know the cipher. Mm-hmm. What you've been able to tell so far has been what is basically the only complete words in a semi-familiar script. And it's only because of sort of your knowledge of these things that you were able to even pull the ones together that were complete. And even then, you've only managed to get a name and a couple sentences.
Okay.
Very complex.
Yeah, I will just put the mask on, grab the blanket, wrap it around myself, and I'll lean back against Rhorakas and go to sleep in like a sitting position.
Okay. Fair enough. Ellem, what are you doing?
He is entering his elven trance, and he's getting some long rest.
Okay.
And once he is well rested, after about 4 hours, he's going to get up and he's going to investigate his, hopefully still functional weapon, and he's going to practice with it until everyone else starts to stir.
Okay. I mean, there's...
I am going to turn my head when he starts practicing and just sort of watch him.
So, you, for the purpose of this, we'll say you enter your trance as Hagen is poring over your weapon.
Mm-hmm.
You do not notice them accidentally slip and cut through your bowstring. As the one that they've replaced it with before you've noticed and have set your weapon back is, I mean, less wear on it, but to you, in the state that you use it in, which is always somewhere between hungover and drunk,
Right.
and never really truly sober, you can't tell the difference. After that, there's really nowhere. I mean, if you walk outside, you're in the middle of the street. In the middle, there's really nowhere for you to per se practice firing an arrow. This would be much more time spent getting better with the weight of your weapon. You can sort of dry firing it, pulling back on your mechanism, letting it go, and really getting used to what it feels like to continually shoot this bow.
Daily dry fire is an absolute essential.
So we'll say that you tonight you're able to truly begin the process of familiarizing yourself with your weapon. And this time that you spend doing it is what will allow you to eventually become more proficient with it.
Okay.
So you all managed to get in your rest. No one jumps through a window. No one comes knocking at the door in the night. It's relatively uneventful, so you all get in your long rest. And as some of you awaken in the morning, some of you have already been up, some never actually went to sleep. The sun begins to shine in through the window in your different rooms, and you are now awake, and the day has begun. So what would you all like to do?
We will, as the sun shines through the window, she will start to reanimate and look at Adwenis.
Then I'll take the mask off and put it back in my bag.
Okay.
Morning.
Is my leg particularly comfortable?
I've always been more comfortable sitting up while I'm asleep.
Alright. Kiala, are you awake yet?
I was about to say that Kiala sleeps in a little bit, because one, she's not as worried about Ellem running away, and two, she got knocked flat on her butt yesterday, so she slept in a little bit. So
Well, I
she's still
guess
asleep.
we can start the day without her. She'll eventually come to.
Indeed.
The
Check on the guys.
excuse me. You all begin to notice as you become a bit more awake, the the smell of warm food begins to waft through into the room and fill your senses. You can, by how strong the smell is, you can assume that someone has come by and has left a couple plates of food out by the door to your rooms.
I don't know if she would particularly breathe in the scent since she doesn't need to breathe.
You can still smell.
Okay.
You can still perceive things with smell.
She'll take in the scent and give a warm smile at it, knowing it to be her mother's breakfast.
And you know how good the brains and eggs are in Akros.
Indeed.
And for
Mother must be feeling a bit better. She made us all breakfast, I guess.
there is a plate for each of you. And a bottle of wine, as is custom in Akros.
There we are. I knew that was coming somewhere.
We'll say because of the size of the group, 2 bottles of wine.
It's about to be a lot less.
I suppose Mother did not realize that we have a drunk with us.
You should probably stop him before he downs the entire thing.
Your mother seems like a lovely person. I don't know what everyone looking at me so
We're
strangely.
in a different room.
Drinking both of those bottles.
I'm going to see
Half of
the.
one.
Hey, I have the ability to smell that wine from wherever I am.
You will
That's
not
true.
drink both of them.
Ellem, I don't actually drink anything. Would you like this bottle?
Oh, I love it. It's perfect. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I knew I was going to like you.
Do you want my plate too?
Well, sure, I'll take it too. Why not?
She's
you
going
sure
to
don't-
eat even though
are
she
you-
doesn't need
Are you
to.
sure you don't want to give it to your friend Zonnos? He doesn't. He looks like he could use a meal.
He doesn't eat much.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. He's a little shafer.
Kiala will wake up as they begin eating.
Breakfast smells delicious.
I'm smelling the food. She's like, that smells good.
She's gonna eat about half of her plate and leave the rest for the rest of the group because she doesn't need to eat. She just enjoys it.
All right. Fair enough. So, your time passes. Your stomachs are full. Ellem is, full of wine. It's the morning. The sun is now, it's not like close to noon or anything, but the sun is nice and big and bright in the sky now. Excuse me. Where are you heading off to this morning?
So Kiala eats what Rhorakas doesn't.
Okay. It's delicious. As good as it smells.
Hey, Zonnos.
Yes?
I wonder if maybe we should see if Rhorakas know of any place we can get some healing potions for group. I suppose if Kiala going to fall down as often as she seems to, I guess we will have to fix her or one of us perhaps.
Yep, that sounds like a great idea to me, pal.
I also have a place to go, but healing potions would probably be more beneficial for right now.
Are we together at this point?
I assume we ate breakfast together.
Yeah.
Quick question. Does anyone have any money?
I do.
Because, that's kind of important for buying things. I have 10
plenty.
gold.
Might have a little bit.
I have plenty.
Oh. Seems like not just breakfast was on you then, eh?
Well, I did cover your stay here.
Thank you
And
for
look at-
that.
And look at you just being so generous as helping us out all over the place. Oh, like you do.
Is there a place around here we could find healing potion?
I suppose that we could try the local shop, but I don't believe that they normally carry them.
Why would we go there?
Let's see. So, Rhorakas, you would have
I don't know this place as well as the DM.
you have a fairly good understanding of where things are. You also know that there is sort of a large market, just sort of south and east of where the main military barracks is. That market is where there's a couple of shops. Most of the rest are simply stalls, tents, or people standing with their various wares. You're familiar with a place that might have things that are, healing potions, things that are herbal in nature, and various other goods. There's sort of a catch-all shop called the Glowing Cloak, right there in the heart of the market. And so you sort of know that would be the best place to begin to search for something as rare as a healing potion.
I suppose there is one place that we could go look. It would be particularly... It has particularly the rarest of items in this place, and that would be the... Oh my god, I can't believe I forget what you said already. The glowing
cloak.
what?
Cloak. I'll put it in the chat.
The glowing cloak. Over in the market.
Didn't you give me a healing potion?
tray down, and you can see that your father's there, and he's got a rather large tray, and you can see that he's currently shuffling some of the used bowls and cups from the morning's breakfast that was delivered to the various rooms, and he's taking them back to be washed. What can I do for you, dear?
Yes, me and my new acquaintances here would like to know. I can't quite remember where you get our healing potions that we use sometimes.
Oh, yes. Well, usually, I can find some at the glowing cloak. Timothy there is a good friend of mine, and from time to time he has some. There's also, well, not to put too fine a point on it, there's someone who's a little wacky on the edge of the city north of here who brews some certain things up, and sometimes they'll bring them to the market to sell.
Oh, are you Rhorakas' father? We did not meet last night.
Yes, indeed. Indeed I am. My name is Malthram.
Malthram, it is very nice to meet you. Thank you so much for letting us stay here. Your daughter has been very nice to us.
Oh, yes, of course. She's quite lovely, and any friend of hers is a friend of ours.
And just to be clear, you're not Kiala's father, right?
Indeed not, although it is rather well, I don't want to say unusual, but it's rare to see other Leonin come through the city. What brings you out this way?
She's crazy.
Oh, gosh,
I was here. Well, I was in Satessa following a lead on an item I was searching for. But I was brought here to complete a mission with this group here.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Are you looking for this item on your own?
Well, this particular item, yes, but there's a group of us that look for items that mean a lot to our I might just blank. That mean a lot to the prides in Oreskos.
Interesting. Well, my wife and I have not been back anywhere near the Sun's Mirror in quite some time. So I'm sad to say I did not know that the prides were doing such a thing. But good for you that you're finding your way out into the world.
Is your wife around?
She's back in the kitchen, getting things cleaned up, and before you know it, it'll be time to begin preparing different foods for the folks that'll come in around noon.
I would offer to help her, but we do need to get moving, I suppose.
Well, sure. I'm sure you have things to do, as always. Feel free to come back for lunch. You know, your mother loves to see you eat.
Did she cook the breakfast this morning?
Indeed, she did. She's a wonderful cook.
Yes, please give her my compliments.
I will certainly do so.
And may I ask, are you the one who decided to pair the food this morning with the wine?
Yes, that is something that I tend to do.
I could tell a man of culture and taste as soon as I saw you. You have an excellent eye for vintage.
He has tasted a lot of the wine this morning.
Well,
you don't include wine in our next meal.
Well, between the two of us, if I'm honest, the wine is not paired with the food for taste. It's simply put that if you drink wine in Akros, you tend to drink more, and the wine we have is sells very well.
I've never heard.
So
a
we
better,
started early.
I've never heard a better model for a city in my life. I may have found home.
Well, you'll find that just about the only thing that the folks here in Akros like to do more than fight is drink.
I found me people.
Well, then
Oh, great.
hopefully you'll
You
stay for a
see
while.
more.
We have plenty of rooms.
Thank
did
you.
not-
What did you say his name was? Can you say it again?
It's Malthrum.
Mouth.
Mouth.
Yep, I'll spell it.
Spell that.
Malphrum.
Okay. Well, thank you, Malfrin, but I think we should be going.
Yes, indeed. Again, come back if you need anything, and the room will still be yours for another night. It's the least we can do.
Oh,
Would
before
you
we
have-
go, go
Yes.
ahead, Adwenis.
Would you happen to know of a store that buys and sells oddities? Things not common, but not illegal to own.
Buys and sells oddities. Is it
I'm also looking for.
or
tinker
is it
tools.
is it a book? Is it jewelry? What kind of oddity?
It's jewelry of a sort, but I think it may be better for you to not know the entirety.
Is it gold?
Indeed.
Well, you didn't hear it from me, but the blacksmith in town.
My horns perk up. I was just kidding. I meant my ears.
He's come to buy certain items of jewelry, things made of the more precious metals to work with. So you might try him. His residence is on the west end of the city. He calls his forge true as iron, and you can go and visit him. I'm sure Rhorakas remembers visiting when she was younger. I used to be a man of the blade.
While you were being made of metal, I studied the blade.
Somebody got it.
I didn't even hear it.
I
What's
would-
the reference? I was away for a second.
I would be interested to go to this blacksmith with you, Adwenis, if you would like some company.
It would be beneficial for us to visit the blacksmith first. It would fill our pockets quite a bit.
Now I
Potentially.
want to go even more.
Malfrim,
That's you, Mumbles.
Yes. Sorry. I zoned for a sec.
Malfrim, you said something about someone else from outside of town who brews healing potions sometimes.
Yes, I did.
Do you know their name?
I do not. They're a rather strange woman, and she comes in to sell at the marketplace, but she's very secretive. Doesn't talk much. Puts her wares on her table. You put your gold down, and she swaps the two. Transactional relationship only.
Now, I do have a question. He says that she is a brewstress. Does she only brew exclusively potions, or does she also dabble in other things?
I've seen from time to time that she sells teas as well. That
is-
seems to be the extent of her wares.
Where
that
did
is
she-
dishearteningly informative.
Where does she
Hopefully
usually?
we'll find her in the market.
Does she set up in a certain place in the market usually?
Just at whichever the tables is open and cheapest for the day.
Okay, thank you. We should go, guys.
course, my pleasure.
Thank you, Father. We shall return.
Be sure that you do,
Hopefully.
dear. I'm sure your mother will want to see you eat her lunch.
I look forward to
She
it.
knows that I don't need to, but it's good to know that she cares.
You know how she is.
Mm-hmm. And with that, she will kind of walk away to go head out.
Yeah. Kiala does as well.
Yeah, as I'm following them out, I think. Also, I believe that may be the person that we're looking for.
I was thinking the same thing.
As much as I like, would you say his name was Jimmy or something?
Timothy?
Timothy. I was close.
There are those
As
who
much as
call
I
him.
like Timothy,
There were
We
those that
may
call
need-
him Tim.
I was close. Okay,
So Rhorakas.
I got J's on the mind.
Actually, I apologize. Adwenis, when you said that you believe that that's the person that you're looking for, who did you say that to?
I just said it aloud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rhorakas, if you want to go ahead and roll me a history check.
Oh, this is not going to go well. Anyone want to help with this history check?
I don't think I can.
This is
Think
just
that's
for
how it
you.
works. Ooh, -1.
Oh, the -1. Okay.
Why would it have done it?
Yeah, I mean, it could very well be the person you're looking for. You're pretty sure that that you've heard that Kea is a bit weird and lives on the edge of town.
We have heard the name before. I know because it's in my notes, but I don't know when.
It's just on the mask.
Yeah, me and
Okay.
Adwenis figured it out.
Well, I figured it out first,
Oh,
then you
yeah.
confirmed it. Come on.
I said mostly Adwenis.
I didn't hear mostly Adwenis.
He
It's
said
because
it
you were too
as
busy
he was
jumping
talking.
to conclusions.
Well, that's what I do. As
How
micro.
How else are we supposed to get exercise around here?
So, where are you all heading first?
Well,
To see the
Adwenis
lady.
mentioned the blacksmith first.
I would like to go to Smithy.
Should we split up or should we
Fine,
go
we
together?
can go there.
If you would like to
Such a dirty place.
If you would like to have a potential for quite a bit of money, I would recommend the blacksmith first.
I get a bunch of money on all of my travels.
Roughly 400 gold worth?
No, not that much. How do you know we'll get that much?
I've seen the masks before. I've seen what they've sold for.
Are you sure
Don't
it's
like
safe
how
to
much you're
sell it to
hiding
the
from
black?
us, but okay.
Are you sure it's safe to sell to the blacksmith?
That's why I was hoping someone who wasn't the blacksmith. However, I will bring out one mask at the blacksmith's, and I will take the other one to Kiala. Or this crazy woman at the,
Did you say Kiala?
You mean Kea?
Kea. Or the crazy woman at the market, if they're not the same person, and see if they have a different price.
Kiala, Kea. They're similar.
Tomato, potato.
It's literally just a E sounding word that makes them different.
To the blacksmith.
Rhorakas, are you leading the way?
Yes, because she would know the exact route.
Yep. You all follow Rhorakas, who's very adept, it seems, at making her way around Akros. She leads you, between some crowds and around others, and knows, which streets to take to get you there the fastest. It's a very quick trip. And as you approach Hagen, you hear the very familiar sounds of a hammer as it beats against metal.
I slightly speed up, but I don't do it consciously.
And you all come to this. It's a medium-sized buildings. It fits in very well with the places around it. And Akros, which you've noticed is these sort of white, not white, like sandstone walls and red tiled roofs. And you come to this medium sized building, and it's on the corner. And in the front of it, you see where there is like a small furnace that has been set up. There's a flame going that is currently being fed as you watch. Sort of the smith there, as he'll turn around and he'll sort of puff air into the fire and then turn back around and begin hammering, and then sort of multitasking as he goes about his work as you approach. And there's a small sign out front that reads "True as Iron," and you have arrived at the blacksmith.
I'm going to say hello to the blacksmith. What's his name? Or I guess we don't know yet.
You were told his name was Horvin.
Yes, I was totally listening to that.
I wasn't actually.
I don't
listening
think
to
it
that.
was.
Oops.
I don't think it was said out loud.
It was not.
It was. It's 100% said out loud.
Okay.
I believe him.
Leave the DM.
I'm going to say, hello, Horvin.
Yes, hello.
I'm just gonna sort of wave.
He's
Awkwardly.
sort of facing you and just looks up and he just, hello. What can I help you with? And you,
I'll
you
step
look at
forward.
him, and as you get a good look, you can tell that he's short, probably 5'6", 5'7". However, you look at his arms, and he is just like shredded. I mean, this dude is built, especially in the upper body, and you see how the muscles are very tense underneath the skin. He's got this long, curly, dark brown hair that he has sort of pulled back into what can best be described as a ponytail, and looks very quietly as he greets you.
Yeah, I'm looking around at everything. I'm looking at all the tools that he has, and the forge, and the whole building. I'm just like, this is a beautiful blacksmith shop that you have. I love the forge it's wonderful. I love it.
Yes, thank you. I've built everything here by hand.
Yes, I can tell. I mean, the craftsmanship on the hammer that you're using there, it's very nice. It's very, very impressive.
He's gonna be weirded out by how excited Hagen is to be here.
So Hagen's gonna reach into his bag and he's gonna pull out a hammer that he carries with him, and hold it out to the blacksmith. Be like, this is the first hammer I ever made.
Interesting. Would you mind if I look at it?
No, please.
I'm stepping
please.
away.
And he sets down. He takes this sword that he's working on. He sort of sets it on the edge of the stone, close to the heat, but not into the flame, and sets his tool down. Comes over and takes the hammer from you, and very carefully, sort of inspects it, turns it around in his hands, taking a good look. This is not bad craftsmanship.
No, I have made better since then, but I like to carry that one. It reminds me of my family.
And he takes a moment to sort of look you up and down, and goes, but I can see that the fires of the forge are in your blood.
They are indeed. Yes, my parents have a forge of their own.
Interesting. So I'm afraid that you seem to know my name, but I do not know.
Oh yes,
any of yours.
of course. My name is Hagen Greathorn, and I hold out my
You
hand.
wouldn't know Rhorakas' name?
Sure, he's more of someone who your father knew from his fighting days, not so much someone who you would have visited frequently. Not to just recognize you on sight. No, I mean he's you can tell by looking at him and the way he works and sort of what he has. He's not someone who hears a lot about what goes on around town. He's very to his business.
And I'm also gonna reach in my
I'm gonna
bag.
take offense to that
And
in some way.
I'm gonna reach in my bag. And I'm gonna pull out a hunk of metal that I carry around, and I'm gonna show it to him. And be like, this is for. But I just gesture towards my arm. Be like, I have plans for this. Is I've been working on. Just hold out the metal, which you know what that is.
Yeah, and he holds out his hand. Would you mind if I look at that?
Please.
Also? Interesting, and he hefts it in one hand to feel the weight of it, and sort of tosses it in the other.
It took a while to find, that's for sure.
Yes, this is remarkable. I'll be interested to see what you can make of it.
Yes. I haven't had time recently, but it was next on my list of things to do before we had to leave to come here.
I don't work with that material much, but I've heard it's difficult, but often worth the time. So,
yes.
But I do not believe that you all have come here simply to show me a hammer and some ingots. So,
no, of course not.
What is it that Horvin?
I mean, we might have. You don't know us.
Zonnos,
I do get excited.
This is true.
I'll step forward at this point.
Mm-hmm.
We have recently come across some things that are... Well, one thing in particular that is a little difficult to sell. However, it is made out of solid gold, and we were pointed by a mutual friend of ours towards your place.
My father actually...
Solid gold, you say?
I'm just going to mutter, I wasn't going to say that. Solid gold, yes. And I will reach into my bag and make sure I'm hiding the other two masks as I pull out one of the just normal masks.
It's almost like he catches the mask as you lift it out of the corner of his eye, and it takes a moment for his brain to process what he's just seen. And then he looks at you and then double takes back and then up at you. Bring that inside. Now.
Indeed. I will put it back away immediately.
And he turns and gestures to where the door is from where it leads from where like his forge area is, sort of on the outside where it's more open to the air, and back into what you can assume is his residence. Right through here. We'll talk inside.
Are the rest of us allowed to follow?
Yes, please. Everyone can come in.
He will do so.
Ellem, do not spit in the forge.
It actually wouldn't cause too much. It's a very hot. Never mind.
We don't want to disrespect this man's...
So do all of you go inside, or do some of you stay outside? Who's
She's
going?
definitely gonna go with.
Yeah,
Okay.
going in.
She wants to know more about these.
I'm gonna linger by the forge as I walk by it and just look at it really close, but then I'll follow them in.
Okay. So you walk into this residence, and for lack of a better term, and considering the world we're in, it's very Spartan by design. It has a very simple bedroll that you see in the corner. It's sort of a smaller place. There is a table with one chair, and what looks like whatever was left over from breakfast that morning. There's a sort of a small place where he can make a fire inside the residence himself in the wintertime. And other than that, it's very basic and bare. And
Are there any windows?
There's one window, which would be like on the eastern side of the residence, over towards where the table is, but opposite of where the corner where the bedroll is at.
Okay, I'm gonna throw my hand up and I'm gonna cast Minor Illusion. And I'm just going to make the illusion of blinds on that door, completely blocking out vision to the outside or from the outside inside.
Okay, fair enough.
Zonnos is going to walk over to where he's obviously neglected to clean up after himself and start cleaning up after him in his own home.
Okay. So there's nowhere like inside where you could necessarily put him. You kind of get the sense that whenever he dirties something up enough, like he takes it outside and probably waits for it to rain or gets a bucket of water and washes it there.
I use prestidigitation.
Ah, there you go. Well, he now has a clean bowl and cup and table.
And yeah, as the blinds get created, I'm gonna pull out the mask again.
I would like to ask where you got these.
We were attacked.
These, I've only shown him the one. I have not shown him the
Sorry,
other.
excuse me. Where you got this?
Off the body. Funnily enough, no face.
Interesting.
This one attacked us and we took his mask.
And killed 2 of the city folk before turning on us.
It was quite the ordeal.
I bet it was. I've heard that such encounters can be frightening. However,
Hagen had it under control.
The lion fell down, but she's okay now.
She's not very sturdy.
I'll nod at the illusion I created and say, we have tricks.
I can see that also. So, I'll be honest. Something like this doesn't come through the city very often. People here are, what's the word? Superstitious about items of the returned. I, however, am not. And I have a friend who does a lot of dealings in the area around Adwenis. So whenever things like this do come into town, I try to be the one to buy them. So I'll ask you, how much?
Due to our difficulties in obtaining it, I was thinking around 300.
300? Is it the only one you have?
It is indeed.
Okay. Go ahead and make a
Deception?
no, go ahead and make a persuasion check.
I'm gonna add a d10 to that.
Go for
My
it.
oracle ability.
Uh-huh.
Not bad. Not what I wanted though.
300. It's a bit well, that's more than what it weighs. I'll give you 225 gold pieces for it.
Would you also include a set of smith's tools?
Tinker?
No, smiths.
Smith's tools. Yeah, I believe I have a spare set of tools lying around. I'm sure I could gather some up for you and put them together. So 225 and some tools for this one.
I'll hold out my hand.
Ah, wonderful. So he comes and he takes the
Does
mask.
he shake my hand?
No, he grabs the mask.
Aw. I'm
I
gonna
was-
make the suction cup sound.
I was wondering if you had
Let's
on
say-
gloves.
So before he does that, he turns away from you for a moment and he walks over to where sort of this like a fireplace would be. And he comes up to the stone where it sets against the wall, and he puts his fingers around it and he pulls it out away from the wall and reaches in, and you hear like coins rattling around, and he comes out and he sort of scrapes out. You can see that there's gold coins just laying in there, and he's sort of counting them out, counting them out, and he eventually fills two bags with these coins, pushes the rest of the coins back in, and walks over to you and holds out the money for you in his hand for the mask.
I'll put the mask in his hand and I'll take the 2 bags of gold.
Okay. And he takes the mask from you and just very quickly runs back over, puts the mask into the space where the coins are, and slides the stone back into place. And then he looks at you and he goes, whenever we walk back outside, we can figure out the tools that you need and gather them up.
We appreciate it. We'll keep you in mind in the future if more items like that cross our path.
I appreciate your consideration, but to be frank, I hope you don't have too many more to bring me. That would be a bit
So do we.
concerning.
Well, the one over there can sniff out bad things.
That's an interesting talent to have.
Which one did you point at?
Ellem.
I don't know. I was talking about a nose.
The nose knows. Follow your nose.
It's not so much that I sniff them out, they just find me.
So,
as we're walking back out, I'm going to take out the tinker's tools that I have in my pack and show him and be like, do you think that between you and I we could fix these tools? We had an accident with them.
We?
It's an accident.
That's what I get
Where
for
did you
working when
mean
I'm tired.
we?
Where did you get that thing stuck, and how did you pull it back out?
I'm very strong. It was dark. I don't really want to talk about it. It's kind of embarrassing.
I wouldn't either. Were you alone?
Yes.
Oh, good. That would have been very weird. Well, walk back
PG stream.
and yes, I think I have a way to fix that. Come with me. And he'll lead you outside Hagen and back to where his sort of work area is, by the forge. Hand me the tool, please.
I'll hand it to him.
Okay.
I can help too.
He takes it and he sort of looks at you and he says, "Watch closely."
Okie dokie.
And he takes it and he takes this bit of metal and he puts it not into the large part of the flame, but into where the outer coals are. And he holds it very close. They're not touching the coals, but very close. And you can actually see that the skin, like sort of up his arm, begins to like turn red from the heat. And his hand as well. And he a moment later takes it out, and you see that the end of it is orange on the end of it. He says, "All right, so this is the important part here." And he takes it and he sets it down on the anvil, and he reaches down and pulls what looks like a small stone brick, right? And he takes the brick and he sets it on top of the hot metal, and doesn't seem like he's applying any pressure, but just sort of releases. And he watches the stone sort of pushes back down on the hot metal and straightens out, and he slides it out from underneath the stone and sets it down. He says, well, whenever that cools off, you'll have a functioning tool again.
That was a good trick. I would not have thought of using the stone.
The stone is the key. Without it, if you try to hit it with the hammer, all you end up doing is breaking the end of it off. It's a slow weight that does the trick. So, Hagen, go ahead and roll an intelligence check.
Oh, I'm doing great with rolls tonight. Intelligence. Just a straight intelligence?
Yes. No, I'm sorry. You're proficient with the tools that. Add your proficiency bonus.
9.
Ooh.
I rolled a 3.
Oh.
I have a really high intelligence, but I rolled a 3.
Oh man, that was gonna be really cool if you get that roll up a little
If you
bit.
rolled a... Oh, you only have a plus.
It is so exciting to you to see him work and to be back in and near like a smith and doing the sort of work around a forge and a flame, and he fixes this tool right in front of you is something that you didn't know, but you're so excited that it seems like you're not going to be able to remember how to do that whenever you leave. Not exactly the way he did it.
While he's there, I'm going to excitedly just tell him about the enchanted anvil.
An enchanted anvil?
Yes, that's the name of my parents' shop. Read my backstory. What's wrong with you?
No, I mean, he was asking.
That was in character, definitely.
Asking. Did he... Hi, I'm from the middle of nowhere, but have you heard of my parents' place?
Have you heard of it?
Bless him.
Did we lose Mumbles?
So has he?
Yeah. Have you heard of it? Oh yeah, we lost him. Oh wait, he's back.
We
There
lost
we
him.
He just dipped out for a moment to read your backstory.
No, he's not heard of it.
Oh, okie dokie.
I'm sure it was lovely though.
Was it's still there? I mean, it didn't get destroyed or anything.
Well, I don't think it got this. Did it get destroyed? We might have to go back and check on it.
Probably. I mean,
Oh,
sheesh.
slight grammatical errors as a DM.
It's canon now.
Man.
that
I
wasn't in
missed
the
what
video we read
happened.
today or watched today.
So
See, I
man,
can't- I can't do
that
anything.
dragon attack on the city's pretty crazy, huh? And y'all should probably get going.
Dragons and Theros?
Oh, that's pretty wild.
I'm just gonna say this
Were there any
blacksmith
dungeons?
seems like he's the bad guy. If he knows about stuff
Maybe.
getting burnt.
BBEG.
Yep.
All right. I'll definitely have to make a note of that. So, is there anything else that I can help you with?
No, is there anything that I could help you with?
No, I tend to work alone.
Is that why nobody's here?
That's a very astute observation.
You should really get a maid. Place is disgusting.
It's a fort. What do you expect?
I live alone. I have no one to impress.
These places are not typically clean.
Well, I'm impressed by the work that you do.
I appreciate that. I certainly try my hardest.
It shows.
I've been at it a long time.
Well, thank you very much, Horvin, for your help.
Oh yes, it was very nice to meet you.
Yes, it was nice meeting you all as well.
Don't lie to
Yeah.
us.
Well, you brought me something quite valuable. I'm grateful for that.
Well, we'll get out of your hair. We have other places we need to get to.
I'm sure I missed this. What race is he?
Human.
Okay.
and we'll leave.
Okay, where are you going next?
Can we go to the crazy lady?
I think we should go to the market first and see about maybe finding some healing potions.
That is where she will be. We are indeed looking for her, according to my father.
I'd say we should try it.
Do we want to go to the...
Glowing cloak? Is that what you're looking for, Rhorakas?
Sorry, people
Foxy.
talking, opening up my door and everything. Should we go to the glowing cloak or to this woman first?
We have enough gold for 3 healing potions without using anyone's gold or bartering.
That's why I'm asking, should we go to this woman or should we go to the glowing cloak?
Well, the way your father talked, I think that I'm gonna say that we're walking to. I would say we're walking towards the market as we talk.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making
Gonna
sure
be-
we're not just standing in the street.
It was on the west side of the town, right? City, whatever.
The
blacksmith was.
Yeah, the blacksmith is on the marketplace is just south and east of where the main barracks is in the center of the city.
Yeah. I didn't hear that part. My bad.
Yep, there's some permanent shops there, but most of it is like it's a very like an open air market kind of deal.
It's a marketplace. Typically how you'd see in old time. Anyway.
Well, the way your father talked, she's not there all the time. It's just every once in a while. So, I say we should look for her, and if she's not there, go on to the glowing cloak before heading out of the city.
I don't particularly know where she might be set up. We could be looking for a while. I know exactly where the glowing cloak is.
Well, then let's
What do
head
you
towards
think?
the glowing cloak first. And see if we see her on the way.
Okay.
Works for me.
All right, so you all head towards the marketplace. Your final destination being the glowing cloak. For two of you make perception checks.
I'll do it. I think.
Not me.
Actually, no, our perception is low. Who else has better perception?
I got perception.
Well, isn't that ironic?
He does have perception, though.
Like, seriously, how does the most oblivious one of us have the most perception?
There's a difference between being oblivious and being unaware.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So you make your way towards the glowing cloak, and something catches your eye, Ellem. As you get a little closer, following after Rhorakas, there's a small table set up. Doesn't even have like a covering over top. It's exposed to the sun. As it's 10:30, 11 o'clock by this point. And you see this sort of older looking, almost hag-like human woman at a stall. And in front of her are tea leaves and a couple of dark colored liquids in clear bottles. And you have a feeling that might be the person who you were told about.
Now, nobody panic. I promise I'm not about to go down some sort of drunken bender. But I think the lady over there with the curious table full of assorted liquids in bottles might just be the one we're looking for. Perhaps. If not, then alcohol's back on the menu. And he begins to just walk over to her.
That's a good eye, Ellem, and I'll follow.
That nose was good for
You're
something.
welcome.
And I'll walk that direction.
Okay. You approach, and she's, very short, sort of a hunched back, very wrinkled face. She does have like suntanned skin and a little bit of sunburn on her forehead, and you walk over, and she sort of sees you approach it. Yes, can I help you?
Hello, Mum. We're just looking for some healing potions here and maybe something else.
Healing potions. Let me see if I have any in my bag. Go ahead and roll a d4.
Well, it's going to go spectacularly well.
Is there a chair across from her?
Hey, how about that?
A chair?
Yeah.
No. Okay. Yes, I have a few. And she sort of very slowly turns back around and sort of bends over and pulls through a couple things in a sack that you can't quite see into, and pulls out 3 healing potions and sets them onto the table. Yes, 75 gold piece. Healing potions.
Well, yes, these are just what the doctor ordered. Tell you what, you haven't happened to have a deal today for, maybe buy 2 get 1 free.
75 gold a piece.
I'll put the bags of gold on the table.
Where'd you get so much money?
Our friend
It's not
here.
wise to ask questions.
It's for us to know, and
Tell you what, I stole it straight away.
She kind of looks at you for a minute, like looking into your eyes, and goes, "All right then. 75 gold each."
That should be 225. We will take all 3.
Okay then. And she sort of pushes the potions out towards the edge of the table towards you all.
I'm going to, Kiala.
Would you like to buy some tea?
Perhaps.
I'm
Would
not
you happen to be... Oh, go ahead.
I'm not much of a tea person. What kind of tea do you have?
The good kind.
Got any what's been fermented?
No, I don't think so. Although you could try what I have here. And she pushes one of the other bottles that had like the dark liquid in it that she had some. A lot of people who come by prefer this to fermented drinks.
What will be this?
Poison. Roll a constitution save.
Are you just examining it?
Yeah, it's picking it up. Turn
Okay,
around.
yeah.
Nose in it.
Roll a
Or putting it in his nose.
roll an insight check.
If this doesn't work, I'm going. Okay.
It looks like really strong liquor.
Hmm.
Probably like but the kind that you make in the mountains in the woods where nobody can see you.
Ah, bathtub liquor.
It's
Did you just-
moonshine, y'all.
I mean, I don't know what this is, but
Can you snatch it from him?
Can you snatch it from him?
Yeah, as in like take it from him.
From Ellem?
Make a dexterity check.
can I
Let's
make
do
it?
that. Let's do dexterity versus dexterity. Yeah, so
Yeah,
both of you make dexterity checks.
Is check or save?
Check.
Okay.
Yeah, so you reach out to grab it, but Ellem is very
Dexterous.
nimble and dexterous when it comes to grabbing bottles off tables, and manages to swipe it and get it out of your reach.
I'm not even think about drinking that.
How much for the party favor, love? This seems like just what I come here for.
10 gold pieces.
Well,
Jesus. Sigh.
now that sounds a bit like I've been maybe giving a bit too much to the church. Nothing I can do to haggle you down about that?
No.
Don't even try and ask for the gold from the one that actually has a lot of it.
Shame. Seems I'll have to save up a bit and come back for it later. And he puts it back down on the table very carefully.
It could be gone later. Maybe you'd, ask a friend for some money. It's very good.
We all still a bit too new, I think, to be asking favours of each other. But don't you worry. I have me ways of finding a little bit of scratch on the side.
Well, hopefully I'll see you again when I make some more.
Do you? You said
Also,
you.
she's gonna take one of the healing potions since we already bought it.
Yeah, they're just on the table for whoever wants them.
Well, actually, if it's okay with you all, I'm gonna have her take all 3.
Rhorakas is?
I think we should split them up.
I think we should give at least one to Kiala.
I was gonna.
She can't drink it if she's down.
But we could grab it from her pocket. I'll take
Hold
one
on
too.
to me for now.
May I take one?
Sure. She's gonna hand one of them to Hagen. Oh my god, brain. Staring at the word and can't say it.
Brain is hard, I understand.
May
That
May I
character is
have
pretty
one?
dumb.
May I have one as well, Rhorakas?
I suppose since you seem to need it the most.
Yes, since I take most of the hits. Thank you, and I'll take it and put it in my bag.
Welcome to life as the tank.
Ma'am, you said that you. I'm sorry, we didn't get your name. What was your name?
I was gonna ask about that, yeah.
Sorry, Adwenis.
Let's see her name.
I was just gonna say, would you happen to be,
My name's
you to it.
Teresa.
yeah.
I
Who?
don't know.
Hey, it's just a name that I've heard around here.
Oh no, dear. She lives south of the city. South.
Insight check.
I would
Okay.
also like to make one.
You're supposed to say, do I believe her?
Insight check.
Yeah, I mean, y'all didn't like.
Yeah, I don't believe her. I just didn't get a chance. I was reading something. I didn't get a chance yet to say it. But I do not.
I don't know how this old woman is supposed to be hard to read.
Yeah.
She's hard to read. No, like
Oh,
I don't understand social situations. That's how she's hard to read.
she is telling the truth. She is indeed like we don't all get to make insight checks.
I know. I just wanted
None
to
of us
roll to see
believe
what I
her.
got.
Should have made
But
a history check.
it's funny. But at saying that, Rhorakas, go ahead and make another history check with advantage this time.
Oh, no.
History.
Okay.
Double nat
How do
one.
I do
Double
Yeah, I'm just gonna roll twice. And I didn't see what that one was, but let's roll again.
Oh, sweet
He
mother!
used
A 10.
beyond 20s.
You got okay. You got a 10.
Get
Rhorakas,
something for once.
something strikes you at the mention of it. You didn't, for some reason, you didn't remember it earlier. But having lived in Akros for most of your life, you do remember that there is an oracle woman named Kaya who just so happens to live south of the city, just outside the walls.
We already knew this. Well, I already knew this.
So, and this is definitely not her, because this woman looks pretty old. And you know that Kaya is middle-aged.
This is not. I just remembered something, and this woman does not appear to be, according to the rumors that I've heard, the one we're looking for.
Well, she does not share the name, so that's what I would guess.
Well, Teresa, you did say you had tea.
Yes.
You
I
said
have tea.
the good kind. Was the good kind what you tried to sell our friend here? Do you have other kinds that are not quite as strong?
Oh, sure. Do you want the leaves or already in a bag for you, dear? Like she sells it like raw or like packaged.
Okay, I was
Like where you're gonna crush it up yourself to make it to be able to steep it, or if you want it
okay.
like where it's
I
already
was
ready.
like,
You're talking to a
Completely
southerner.
like-
She has no idea what you're talking about.
You mean it don't come out of the thing at McDonald's already sweet? Like what are you talking about?
I
McDonald's
know
does
how
have good
tea
sweet
works.
tea.
I just didn't expect it to. In a bag, please.
Sure, I have let's see, I have black rot, fire flower, and halfling heart.
Oh, we're playing Mario Party with the fire flower.
If I drink the fire flower, do I get resistance to fire? No, I'm kidding. Or resistance to cold. Can I get some of the fire flower, please?
Sure, that's 10 gold pieces.
How much would I be getting for 10 gold?
She sort of you look and you can see where it's like it's pretty good sized pouch with like some little I don't want to say packets because it wouldn't be, but like smaller pouches inside of a larger pouch where like the leaves have already been crushed up and in there, like enough to probably make it, I don't know, let's say like 5 or 6 times, depending on how much you drink of it.
She's gonna intervene and take out 20 gold pieces.
Uh-huh.
And set it on the table. We'll take 2 bags of the fire flower.
2 bags, okay then. Here you go. And she just pushes over the 2 pouches of the fire flower over to you. It's good stuff, but don't drink more than a cup at a time.
She'll give the 2 bags to Kiala.
You didn't have to do that.
Well, I just felt a little bit generous.
Well, thank you. And thank you, Mother Teresa.
I don't believe I'm your mother, dear, but you're welcome.
I'm sorry. It's a custom among my people.
Is it?
I would like to roll insight on that.
I'd like to also roll insight.
On whether or not she's my mother or whether or not
It's a custom in your people.
Rhorakas, you kind of think that sounds about right for Leon, and you're not very familiar with him.
Rhorakas' mother and father
weird.
are leaning.
Exactly. I was like, should I have advantage on this?
They don't live where I live. They've not lived there for a long time. They wouldn't know.
I mean, just
No,
because they
why
have
would you? Why would you have advantage on a Leonin who has lived in their homeland versus two that have lived in the city for several decades?
I don't know, because they used to live in the homeland.
Mm,
So they would probably start out using the customs.
Not, no. I mean, I
Fine,
appreciate
fine.
the thought, but no.
Fine.
Would I have
Um,
advantage because I'm pretty cool?
I like the thought, but also no.
Oh, whatever. Let's just continue.
Yeah, insight. I'm curious. Ducky, go ahead and roll if you feel so inclined. I mean, they're kind of looking at you intently.
Am I rolling?
I'm just giving Kiala side eye. But like
I
my
guess you're
eyes
rolling
kind of bulge
deception or
out from my
persuasion.
face a little bit because I'm a fish.
I think it's deception, right?
Well, it doesn't. Which,
It's a charisma check
yeah. I mean,
for sure. This could either be Kiala changing the backstory of the land in which she lives, or she could be straight up lying.
so yeah, so
we are
you can roll.
matriarchal.
You can roll whichever one you feel is appropriate, and then tell us the roll, please.
Or you can tell it specifically to the DM.
The roll is 13.
13. Okay, well,
Meat beats.
yeah. I mean, so Adwenis, now are you? Did you just make that up? Because I don't have it in my notes.
It was 100% out of nowhere. I was just,
You were frazzled with the 2 bags of tea.
I was making the Mother Teresa joke. It's the only thing I was doing.
I know.
And you said it in character.
Yeah.
And then covered for it with
While they're having this discussion,
So you definitely know that
There's
that's
no
not
discussion. There's
right.
just side eye and nothing. I
You
don't
definitely know
respond
that
to that
that's
at
not
all.
right, Adwenis, but you get the feeling that maybe she was just trying to be polite.
Understandable.
while they're having this, can I just look around at the people at the other stalls and in the other stalls, just see if anyone's paying us any particular attention or looks suspicious in
Roll a
some way?
perception check.
Zonnos is also looking around to see if there are any shops that may sell scrolls and or books.
If I couldn't have guessed that the wizard was gonna look for a bookstore.
Yeah,
Go ahead and make a perception check as well.
monkey.
I got 8.
Me too.
Was it? Oh.
Yep.
Oh, guys.
So Hagen, it doesn't seem that anyone is paying you any attention at all. Seems like most people are just going about their business. Zonnos, you're really not too familiar with this area, and there's a lot going on, shouting between stalls, people coming, going, buying things. You do not happen to spot a place that looks like people are leaving with books.
This place is
Alright.
very loud.
Well, to get back to what else we came here for, she's gonna ask, would you happen to sell any other potions that may be of use to us?
Just the one I already tried to sell your friend with the big nose there.
what does that potion do, may I ask?
You do have a big nose. I never noticed.
Can't imagine it. It's as plain as the nose in my face.
Well, I don't really care what it does. I don't plan on buying it for my friend.
It's kind of intimidating when you look at it from down here.
I'm going to lean into Ellem and whisper in Elvish, "How much money do you need for it?"
I'll whisper back in Elvish 10 gold.
I've got 9.
You know, plus one more and we got it. I think I have one more.
I'll hand over 9 gold.
Okay.
You know what, miss? It just so happens I've changed my
Did she
mind.
notice the handing over the 9 gold?
I'm being stealthy about it.
Gotta roll a stealth check on that.
You're all distracted by the nose.
Wait, I'm
Roll
gonna help. I'm gonna help.
It's not how
I
you
got. You help by the advantage with the
No.
15, right?
I already
it has
rolled
to be
before you
said
said
before
help.
the roll.
Well then,
So Rhorakas, you need to make a perception check.
I think that your
Uh-oh.
passive passes that.
What is your actually what is your
passive
passive
is
perception?
10.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, so you notice.
I'm just gonna kind of like scowl a little bit and possibly whack Adwenis over the head with her wing. Act like she's just fluffing her feathers.
I'm gonna look at Zonnos. Do I need to get my pebbles out?
Now let's just see where this goes.
Okie dokie.
I mean, just kind of
Witch
tap
bolt.
on the head. Because if you're swinging to do damage, I really don't want to get into that again.
Witch bolt and tentacles.
No.
No, I'm not doing anything.
This guy there, you'd get the guards on us.
I'm just gonna look at Rhorakas and say, just let him have it. It's a lost cause at this point.
He's more agreeable when he has it rather than when he doesn't.
I still would
agree.
like. I'm gonna look back at Mother Teresa and say, I would still like to know what it is that it does.
Well, it helps you be someone other than yourself.
Ooh. I love this.
How do you mean?
No. This is not time for questions. Time for questions happen
Sometimes
after you drink
just
it.
have to drink it and find out, dear.
I'm kind of curious on how he got another gold piece when didn't he say that he spent all his gold at the bar?
No,
And you believed him?
No, I assume he had more gold.
I never went to the bar. I got captured by you guys and stuck in the other place, and then someone gave
Bathhouse
me.
had a bar that you went to.
I was given a piece of gold, and I spent my piece of gold to get 2 bottles of wine.
Yeah, he hasn't spent his gold yet.
Yeah, I never touched my gold.
Yeah. No. And I out of character know that he has more than 1 gold on him. But Adwenis also doesn't care.
Yeah.
I would assume that he has more gold than that. He's a liar. Kiala knows that. Anyway. Okay.
Okay,
Thank
so
you,
you now have the an unknown potion in a glass bottle.
Awesome.
He's going.
And I'll just whisper in
die
Elvish.
in
I'm
frustration.
taking some of that, you know?
We'll negotiate later, love.
Only I knew Elvish.
I don't know why I picked it up, but I did.
I know Sylvan.
I know Leonin and Primordial. That's it.
I know Leon and Giant.
And Common, but everyone knows Common.
I got Celestial, Elven, Giant, and Primordial. I have so many languages.
Hey, we can speak Giant to each other.
Yeah, that one just sounds
Wait.
like grunts.
Back to the campaign. Shout.
This is about the campaign.
I know.
Should we go ahead and make a trip to the Golden Cloak just to see what they have.
I feel like that would be a wise choice.
Okay.
Right.
Do you all head to the glowing cloak?
No, I
Well,
think I'm
it's
gonna head to
two
Mount Velis.
To where?
Mount Velis.
Okay.
There's a ring that I was given that I
Alone?
need to take care of.
All right.
I thought we gave that to the halfling.
You need someone to
We-
carry you because they can't carry it.
We will get back to the fellowship side quest in just a minute. It'll be
I
our
thought we
character
gave-
development quest. It'll be a
Mr. Zonnos, I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you.
That doesn't make any sense. It's much lighter than I am.
I thought we gave the ring to the halfling.
I already made that joke.
What's a halfling?
Alright, back to the campaign. Let's stop with Lord of the Rings.
Do you feel like you're being watched? Anyway, we're walking
See,
to the glowing
you
cloak.
outlawed nose jokes, and we just jump on something else.
We do.
So we did turn down the Lord of the Rings quest. I'm just throwing that out there.
That,
We did,
I
yes.
expect
that
nothing
Lord of the
less.
Rings. That Lord of the Rings joke it did smell a little funny though.
I would know.
Monkey, no.
Are any of you proficient in like an alchemist kit or anything like that?
It's one of the few
Well,
kits I'm
as a
not-
matter
weapons
of
count?
fact, no, I'm not.
Does simple weapons count?
Do
No.
cook's utensils count?
No.
I got
You
carpenter
have
tools,
cook's
smith's
utensils?
tools, thieves' tools, tinker's
I do.
tools.
I have seaweed, jellyfish stingers, and fish scales. We could do something with that.
Oh yeah, I can cook you anything.
I'm proficient with a loot. Does that work? I don't. I'm proficient with musical instruments and a disguise kit. That's it.
I've got navigator's tools, thieves' tools, and vehicles.
Interesting.
You said something to do with Arcana?
Oh, so you're a drunk
Alchemy.
driver, is what you're saying.
Yep.
Alchemy. Yeah, no, I ain't got nothing with alchemy.
I got land vehicles too.
Though I probably should have something with alchemy, in all honesty. Given my deity and all that.
Right.
I think Mordrum is
Oh, well.
proficient with
So the
alchemy.
golden cloak,
Yeah.
glowing cloak. Now even I got the name confused.
Yep, that was my fault. My bad.
The glowing cloak. All right.
The golden
It's
glowing
not
cloak.
golden. It's glowing.
It's
The
golden
glowing cloak looks almost identical from the outside of just about every building you've seen in Algros. You get the feeling that there's a rather strict architectural style here as the city's been built up. Most of it looks very much the same. However, as you walk in, you see that there are sort of small shelves, boxes, barrels that have different items set on top of them. Most of them look like little trinkets and knickknacks. There are actually some books on one of the shelves. And behind a small counter sitting down in a chair is a human man who is completely bald, clean shaven, sort of like a heavier
Pool cue.
set fellow.
We found a monk.
It's a cue ball.
Oh man. Yes, can I help you find something?
Yes, we were looking for healing potions.
Healing potions. Might have some of those. Let me check the back. If one of you wants to go ahead and roll a d4.
I got it.
I got it.
No, it's mine. I want to roll my new dice.
Late.
I hate you. Because I got a 2.
So it comes back out. Something in the same. Yeah, I have one. It's
Only one.
75 gold.
75 for just one potion?
That's right.
Yes, but I think they heal more than most potions. She says in character. Out of character, she says, yeah, because they heal all the heals.
You
No.
would have no clue about the manner of which healing potions have been brewed in the city of Akros. That's out of character knowledge that you have.
Gotcha.
I mean, Rhorakas would probably know.
Wouldn't have a clue.
Really?
You just know that you. I
You
mean,
consume them, you don't brew them.
Right, like, do you as Rhorakas know that, like, do you watch your hit point counter go up as you drink it? I mean, no, you wouldn't
Yes.
know. You just know you drink it and it makes you feel better. Like, it'd be like trying to tell the difference in the strength of, like, Robitussin versus Mucinex, like, in liquid form. How would you know? You just take it, it makes you feel better.
I take them both and see if I feel doubly as good.
I think that's what Mumbles did tonight.
Yeah.
So,
so
Zonnos is just going to look around the store and see if there's anything of interest.
There were books on a shelf.
Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Not in particular, no, just browsing.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
Thumbing through any books I see.
Mm-hmm.
And
Make an investigation check.
I would like to look for any kind of parts or materials that might come in handy.
24. Okay, that's fair.
Find all the things.
You find
I'm a speed reader.
To decide whether she wants this potion or not.
You find a lot of books. Everything from a book titled The Dark Lands, a book titled Marvelous Magics, and another one called Sailing 101. Any of those pique your interest?
All three of them.
Okay.
How much for these three?
Yeah, 2 gold pieces a book.
I'll take all three.
Deal. Put your money on the counter.
I hand him 6 gold.
Fair enough. Who was were you buying the potion, or did you just want to know if I had one?
What were the name of those books again?
Right. You have Sailing 101, The Dark Lands, and Marvelous Magics.
She's just kind of gonna look at the rest of you all to like basically ask with her stare, like,
Do we want the potion?
do you wish to have a fourth potion? Not saying that out loud, but that's what her glare says.
I'm just gonna lean to Rhorakas and quietly say, I think you're the only one here who can afford it.
Can't hear you. You just gotta talk normally.
I'm gonna say, I think you're the only one here who can afford it, so it's up to you. But I think it would be useful.
Dang me and my wealthiness.
That's what you get.
So who's buying it?
Well, am I the only one with 75 gold?
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
Definitely, we're level 1.
Well, technically I have 400, but we're not talking about that. I've got 2 masks left.
You?
Wait, didn't you pay?
I paid for 3.
They mean it.
The mask.
He means he has the mask still.
He has
Right,
to
yeah.
for
God,
400 gold, but
we can't sell those here.
No.
Yeah.
We could try.
That would be very much looked down upon.
Okay.
So
If you're buying
Rhorakas,
it, subtract 75 gold pieces.
You're just gonna throw a small pouch onto the counter of 75 gold.
You know, you should really keep your pouches. They're reusable.
He grabs it up off, kind of feels the weight of it in his hand. Seems satisfied enough. Puts it underneath the counter.
Were there any other books other than the ones
I'll
that
take the
Zonnos picked
potion
up?
and put it in her pouch.
Sure, there's all kinds of books.
And I did an investigation check looking for any kind of gadgety material type things. Anything?
No, unfortunately not.
All right.
You found a brand new set of Tinker's tools.
I have a set of Tinker's tools.
Yep, that's all they have. They did not have anything like sort of what you're looking for, basically.
Can I ask her what if she knows a place that might have something?
Or you mean him?
Him, yeah,
Do you mean Rhorakas or the owner?
the owner.
He would not.
Okay.
Are there any
what was your
books-
name, by the way?
Timothy.
Oh.
Timothy.
Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you as well. Always enjoy
Mumbles.
it when people come in and spend their money.
It was good seeing you again, Timothy.
Yes. You too. You too. Tell your mother I said hello. And your father too.
I will do that.
It's been too
were
long
there
since
any
I've been over for dinner. Yes, Ducky.
I was gonna say, were there any books on history of this world that's not Oreskos and the Sun's Mirror?
Make an investigation check.
Hey, I have proficiency in
I
that.
thought I bought all the books.
No, those were just 3 of the books that seemed most interesting to you, that caught your attention because they seemed to be different than the other books. But he has a whole shelf full of books. Probably a dozen there. That's not the 3 you bought. All just different things.
So I'm just confirming, if the little dot is filled in, that means I have proficiency, correct?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Gotcha. Just making sure.
But on D&D Beyond, the plus already includes your proficiency.
Okay.
That's correct.
So don't add your proficiency to that plus whatever.
Yeah, I only got a 7.
Nope.
Guys.
You look through and it seems like the rest of it is just, various works of fiction.
Anything that looks good?
Fictional things in a fictional universe. Interesting.
This is real. I don't know what you're talking about.
Any fictional books that look interesting?
I mean, there's one called Tauriel's Tales, and it has a drawing on the front of what looks like a man and a woman holding hands.
I've read that one. Real mushy stuff.
Flowers around the borders.
Are there any books about Perforos?
There are not.
Is there an adventure book, like a fictional adventure book?
Sure. The Tallest Tales.
The Tallest Tales.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm gonna buy that.
Curiosity, are there any books about any of the deities?
None that seem to be none that aren't works of fiction, that aren't fictional tales about adventures with the gods. It is amazing how y'all didn't find the bookshop, but you found a shelf of books.
Yay. I'm gonna buy the.
Know the book where the bookshop is?
Considering what you do for a living and your character's intelligence, I'm going to say you probably don't buy many books.
Yeah. I mean, I think she would know the city like the back of her wing.
It's a big
No.
city. Look at that city.
It's not like
And
it's
big.
like it's like
Not
New
that
York.
big. It's about
Ma-
the size of my fingers.
There could have been a time when you would have, but whenever you think about the amount of time that you spend traveling,
It's only 5 feet across.
how would you? Oh man. Oh man.
Kill us all.
I think it's 10. I
Um,
think it's 10 feet. It looks like it's in 2 squares.
I'm gonna
Wow, it's 10
Purchase.
o'clock already? Crazy.
purchase the
It's 9:30. Yeah.
the book. I'm gonna purchase the book. I'm gonna take the book to Timothy and say how much for this one.
5 silver pieces.
I'll take it. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Enjoy it. That's one of my daughter's favorites. Anything else you're looking for at the little store here that Timothy runs?
Not today, Timothy.
Not at this time. Thank you for letting us look through your wares.
Of course, that's what I'm here for. Oh, I meant to ask you, Rhorakas, how did the fighting go?
Quite well, actually. I won most of my battles.
Yes, we took care of both of the stupid masked people.
I'm just gonna
No?
nudge. I'm gonna nudge Hagen really hard with my elbow.
Ow! What are you doing? There's
Not the fight
there's
that he was
definitely
talking
s-
about.
There's definitely something wrong with you. I'm gonna just move away from her.
I'm not quite sure what the Minotaur is talking about, but my battles
The
over
fight, we had
in
it outside with the gate
What?
with the people.
Hey, Hagen,
What?
Hagen.
What?
I think I saw something over here that looks interesting to you.
I doubt it. I've already looked over there.
Well, did you look hard enough?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I don't think you
You're
did.
Hagen, why don't we go outside and you can tell me more about your projects?
Okie dokie.
My battles over in Melithus definitely went well.
Well,
She's
I'm
gonna
glad
give
to
a
hear
bit
that.
of a. She's gonna give a bit of a slight smile and while softly saying some things underneath of her breath about Hagen. Who's supposed to be the smart one here?
I don't think he is smart.
There's difference between smart and street smart.
Masters has experienced this in Sunday's session.
Yeah, and a difference
I'm
between
sorry,
You
socially
mean in
aware.
real life?
I have a 20 int 20 charisma wizard who has 5 wisdom.
I'm sorry, but is your intelligence not a +4 to know? Hey, maybe I shouldn't be talking about.
That
My
would be wisdom.
My
I think
intelligence
that would
is
be
+4.
wisdom.
My charisma's -1.
And I think that would be wisdom.
Charisma?
I think that would be wisdom, though. Knowing not to talk.
Yeah, that'd be wisdom, which is still +1, which is better than Rhorakas's.
Anyway,
So play your
so
character better. Sheesh.
we've
So where
left.
are y'all going?
We've left. So south. We're going south.
We're
Or
gonna.
I'm gonna say, are we? So shall we? Should we go find Kea?
It would be beneficial, yes.
What time of day is
Your
it?
ideas on what to do with your arm are quite interesting.
Yes, it should be very, very fun if we can make it work.
I'm sure we can.
It's a little past midday, just so we know.
Okay.
Yep. We're making it
Well-
halfway through the day each session.
It's
A lot of
called-
roleplay, though.
It's called a shopping
Yes,
episode.
very much so.
It's a shopping episode. Are we going to be head south? Or are we going to be going back past Rhorakas's place?
Like, are we gonna be stopping near the bathhouse for lunch or whatever?
The bathhouse would be the opposite way, like south out of the city from here.
The
And it would
bathhouse
not be
is the
wise to.
The bathhouse is the opposite direction.
Like it would be out. Well, let's not say the opposite. It would be out of the way.
Before
I mean, you could go there, but it would be out of the way.
before we walk too far away from here, I just want to take a moment, just look up at the sky and just quietly say, "Hey, thanks for letting me play in the forge today. That was cool." That's all. Just
Okay.
She's gonna scowl a little bit at Hagen for talking to Perforos.
You just don't like any of us.
No, she doesn't like Perforos at all.
Don't like Cruffix either.
he's just misunderstood.
Is he?
All right. So who
Never
is leading
sure.
the way to Chaos?
Well, who would know the direction better? Would Rhorakas or someone else?
Yeah, I just want to know who's in front.
She's definitely
No,
not gonna
who's
be
on
first.
first?
She's not
What?
gonna be in front.
No, he's on second.
I'll go in front.
Who?
She'll go.
No,
Rhorakas
he's on
will be
first.
third, but is going to be like guiding in the right direction.
Yeah, you can still give directions. You're just not in the front. I'll put it this way: whoever's in the front is gonna knock on the door.
I'll be in front.
I'm in front. No. This is an
I'll be
oracle.
walking next to Adwenis in front.
If both of you knock, the trap goes off. I didn't say that.
All right. Then I am going to knock with the Leonin hand. Therefore, we're not both knocking. Only the Leonin is knocking.
I never said I was knocking. I just said I'm in front.
Okay,
Thank you.
so I guess go ahead and roll your dexterity saving throw with advantage because he's helping. I don't know. That's a rule book gray area right there.
So
I think
I'm
the rules
rolling a
interpreted
dex
is still
save?
better as you both die. So
Oh, we're
do
both
I-
targeted by power word kill.
I know, right? It's because you're touching her. No.
So am I actually rolling a dex save?
No.
No. All right, so you all head.
We
south
haven't
of
even
the
gotten
city.
there yet.
Time's weird in D&D.
And you actually come back to the crossroads where you had your encounter with the returned. You make going south instead of heading north as you were coming. You head east, which is a left turn.
Nailed it.
Just because I wanted to say left, but then I thought that I could just give you direction, so I'll do both. And Rhorakas sort of guiding you along the way to the best of their ability. Go ahead and for this, since you do have Rhorakas who's from here, but then Adwenis, since you're leading, go ahead and roll. Oh gosh.
Who's rolling?
Adwenis.
I mean, I guess because of the very specific nature of this. Nah, forget it. I roll investigation with advantage.
Heck yeah.
Having some trouble deciding what to make us roll.
Yeah, 12. Good enough.
Roll a death saving throw.
It takes you,
Didn't you say with advantage?
Oh, 16. Yeah. Okay, 16.
Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah. So, Ellem, you have a pretty good knowledge of you've heard of this person before, and Rhorakas, being from here, is very good at giving directions. And you all managed to find this place in just a little bit over an hour. As you come up to it, it's what amounts to be a small wooden cottage nestled in a patch of trees. Lone patch of trees on the top of the particular mountain here.
Yeah, I will walk up and knock on the door.
I'm gonna stay close behind her.
All right. So you knock on the door, and you hear some shuffling, and the door just cracks open just a bit, and inside you see this human female. She has brown hair cut very close to her head, from what you can see, like very dark brown eyes. She looks up and she goes, "Can I help you?"
I'm going to drop into Celestial and say, it is a pleasure to meet you. I am Adwenis Matara. Some things have happened, and I figured it best to seek out someone who knows a little bit more than me.
And she's okay. Yeah, okay.
If she's an oracle, she would know Celestial.
Yeah.
If she's really an oracle.
That's the test.
So she answers back in Celestial. It's not very often I hear someone speak this language. Who's not, of course. Well, you know. What knowledge do you seek? What can I help you with?
I'll switch back to common. Maybe come in and sit down. It's a little bit of a walk to the city, and I'm sure some of us are tired.
I wasn't planning on seeing anyone today. Could you come back tomorrow morning?
I'm going to reach into my bag and pull out the mask that has the different stanzas on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to turn it around so she can see the stanzas. I'm curious as to why this has your name on it.
Okay. Make a persuasion check with advantage. Oh yeah.
I'm good at
That
persuasion.
well, that's gonna be hard to beat.
That is very curious. Yes, please, come in. And
Thank you
she
very much.
sort of opens the door wide to let you all walk in.
How big is this little hut?
I think we're about to see it.
The game is also
Bigger on the inside?
paused, so you know.
Yeah, it won't. It shouldn't matter.
No,
scary
everything is
looking.
very big.
I'm just making sure if it was like a battle map or something.
Oh no. It's just a.
Why would it be a battle map instead of this?
Kelsey
I don't know.
lives.
There's this small cottage that you all walk into, table with a couple chairs. There's really nowhere else to sit.
Colliding with a wall?
You get the feeling that she doesn't have very many people stop by at one time. Certainly not a group of 6. But she invites you all in and explains that
Every time.
Who cares Fireball?
normally to oh lord.
Every time. I'm so sorry.
Ducky, you can just delete that, you know.
I know, but I can't get back to the middle of the page.
I'm gonna go over and use prestidigitation to clean up the cobwebs.
You can't move.
It's not often that someone's so polite when they come in as to clean up the place. But I do appreciate it. So usually my fee is 3 gold pieces, but seeing as how this is quite interesting, I suppose we can do away with the fee. So this mask you have, may I see it?
Absolutely. I'll hand it to her. Do I see any indication of what deity she might worship around the cottage?
Yes. So you actually see it's not of course a picture, but you see like behind where she has the shelf full of books, there is a small like figurine of Eroas, the god of victory. And a candle is lit next to it, which you believe would be very sort of on point for the area you in, considering that that's essentially the patron deity of Akros.
Yeah.
Um,
Curious.
So she takes the mask from you and goes and sits down at the table and puts it down on the table, goes over, grabs a couple of books off the shelf, and sits down and begins to comb over it. Did you This is a very unusual cipher. Have you managed to code any of it so far?
Indeed, the first stanza, although the rest of it is missing some letters, so it's impossible to decode.
Okay. Let me look over it. So she begins sort of poring over the inscriptions on the mask and sort of checking back and forth between her books and such. And this process, for her to get all the way through it to where she feels satisfied, takes about 45 minutes or so. And she kind of looks back and she goes, "Yeah, yes, and indeed, I can see here the first lines here. Did you know that this was from a song?
I was unaware.
Yes, it was a song. It's an older song, one written to Phoenix. I know of a couple people who were quite fond of it and used lines from it in their own writings. But yes, it appears the rest of this is just, well, it's impossible to make out one way or the other. It's definitely missing something.
Indeed.
What do you know of Orestes?
I know it's an urban legend, a place, treasure, escape from the underworld. My personal bet is due to the stanza that I've read, as well as some other things that I know. It's most likely an escape from the underworld.
Right. So Orestes' rot is interesting, yes, but I believe what this might be talking about, and the way it's said, being from the song, that it might be talking about the court of Orestes. See, as Orestes was a follower of Phoenix, and I believe that the court is where his sarcophagus lies. Very interesting. Even more interesting that my name is on it.
Indeed.
More
However,
interesting that she's typing on a computer. Sorry.
I do know that the court of Orestes, though no one quite knows where it is exactly, I was always told that it lied along the Kistonos River. Which take a few days from here.
Can you spell
However,
the name of the river?
yes, of course. I'll put it in the chat. Because my keyboard's very loud if I type it. However, it's interesting that you're here with this now. You know, there was an earthquake the other day, deep in the mountains, and the Kistonos right now has almost dried up downstream. Seems like there's not as much water coming through it as there was before. Very curious the timing of all this. The farmers are freaked out, of course, which is how I heard about it, coming to me to see if it was some sort of omen, but it appeared first to me as just an act of nature, not an act of the gods.
There were two men following the man who wore this mask. Both of them were wearing masks identical to this one. And I'll hand it over.
Yes, curious. Oh, Various.
Indeed.
Oh, how I hate that name. Tell me then, what do you know of Various?
He was an oracle himself, devoted follower of Phoenix, who ascended to godhood, become god of the returned. That's why I believed it had possibility to...
difficult for Erebos.
I mean, considering what happened to those fellas, you might say that they ran into us.
Indeed, I'm sure that's fair.
They killed 2 innocent bystanders.
There's
I'm happy to see it happen.
there's not many things that stand between a return in their mission.
They were not even in the way.
They were in the way of getting to me when I had his mask.
Do you plan to seek this place out?
I believe with things that I have seen that it is important to find.
Well, because if you went there and out of just purely academic curiosity, of course, I'd pay you 200 gold pieces if you could bring me some things back. Should you find it?
What things are you looking for?
Oh, anything with writing on it. Anything if you find the court. I mean, gosh, anything from there would be significant, but particularly anything with writings or carvings on it. I'd love to study it.
Out of character. How much did you just say?
200 gold points. Gold pieces, not gold points.
Is that a piece or just between all of us?
I
Each.
haven't asked.
Each.
200 each.
And I do have this as well. And she sort of reaches back towards the bookshelf and pulls out a book, and out of it she pulls out rather like a folded piece of paper there, and she sets it out. They had an expedition once to try and find the court. Last time the river was low. Now, they never quite found it, but I did get this from the man that returned. And I believe it's probably a pretty good map to get you up the river towards where they were heading. As she sort of pushes across with a hand-drawn map of the river and the surrounding forest around it, and sort of how far they got with a couple of places marked on the way.
Gotcha. I'll fold it up and put it between the 2 masks that go back in my backpack.
Okay.
Was he the only one that returned?
Unfortunately, yes. I think 12 of them went and 1 returned. He didn't speak much of it.
I had one more thing.
Sure.
I've only had one prophecy, I guess you could say. Is it supposed... And I'll switch to Celestial as I realize what I'm saying. Is it supposed to feel like I'm dying?
She looks at you very intently and thinks for a moment. And she says back in Celestial, being able to hear the gods is both a blessing and a curse. And everyone's curse, it seems, is a little different. Some worse than others. Is there anything else?
I'll look to everyone else. And switch to common. Is there anything else you wish to ask while we're here?
Got any interesting books?
This one with books.
Not for you to keep, unfortunately. I'm rather fond of my collection.
Well, if you have any spell books, the next time we come through, maybe I could take a look.
Unfortunately, I don't deal in arcane scrolls. I spend most of my time praying, consulting, and listening.
That's what I do too.
I will say that when Adwenis switched back to Celestial, I was listening, so I know I don't understand Celestial, but I was watching her face. What was her reaction when she received her answer?
Whose face?
Adwenis's.
Adwenis, what would you have?
Adwenis is attempting to keep a straight face no matter what. So it would probably be an insight check.
Considering Adwenis's history, she was able to maintain. She didn't react.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Are there any other questions that you all have for Kea?
I want to ask her about the spear, but not necessarily where everyone can hear me.
Well, you're all together.
I know.
And ask us to stand outside.
Yeah, I'll just look at everyone and say, "Could I have a moment?"
Anything you want, love.
I'm gonna, as I'm on my way out, I'm gonna just look over at Kay and just be like, "Do you need anything from the city? Are you okay with supplies and things?"
What? I'm sorry. You're asking her. You're asking her about what?
Do you need anything from the city or?
No, no, not you. I'm asking Ducky.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Ducky,
what were you asking?
I'm asking her about.
Well, she was
the spear.
trying to get us out first. I was trying to do that.
But
before
I was
left.
getting them out first. Yeah.
Yeah, she would not know about the spear.
She wouldn't. Well, I know she wouldn't know, but as an oracle, would she know? That's what I'm asking. I know what I would know what an oracle is, right?
You would know that an oracle would receive. No, I'm really
Oracle
not sure.
forcefully receives visions from gods.
Right. So it wouldn't be something where she would have had revealed to her by a deity something of worth to Leon.
They're not like looking to the crystal ball style.
Right.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I would. Okay, that's fine then.
Yeah. So I didn't want you to go through asking questions for me to just tell you no in a character voice.
That's fine. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I won't necessarily. If I would know that, then I wouldn't even bother with it.
Anything else for Kea?
I'd like to. If we're close to spending an hour here, I'd like to ask everyone to just finish off a short rest here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sounds like a plan.
Did you stop talking or did we lose you?
Neither.
Sounds like everyone else heard me. I was just asking to finish a short rest here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that way I get my D10 back.
Rhorakas kind of fell asleep in the corner. She got a little bit bored.
I was looking out the window to see if anybody was around or watching us or anything.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
So, somebody wants to, I don't know, smack her awake or something.
As we're leaving, if she doesn't wake up, I'm gonna say something.
Oh, she's definitely not gonna wake up.
It's weird. You don't actually sleep.
I know. Well, this is that we don't need to sleep, but we can sleep.
I'm
Because I believe that this is as good a place as any to leave off this session and pick up next week.
As we are.
Level 2, right?
What?
Is it level 2, right?
No.
As we
We can
are
do it
leaving,
Friday.
though, I will offer her 5 silver pieces and say thank you for your time with us. I appreciate you.
That's very sweet. Thank you. Safe travels.
You as well.
And may
Stay
your God
safe
be
if
with you.
someone is after you.
And she just shuts the door.
Is Rhorakas still inside?
Yes. Rhorakas is
No,
in the
I mean,
corner.
you-
No one went over to wake up Rhorakas.
Well, then
Honestly,
you'll
is
be,
that a big loss?
I mean, you'll
She's
be.
Don't
no
know. We haven't really
money.
done anything yet.
You'll have to figure that out next week. But she has shut the door on the rest of them, so her turning around to see you is going to be interesting next week. But
She's
that is
money,
where we
can't lose
will pick
her.
up next Tuesday. I enjoyed it. I didn't expect to have a downtime session here with all the shopping, but it was interesting nonetheless.
It was fun.
But at least you all did manage to get to Kea and get some direction on where you go from here.
We I think we all needed a little bit of a downtime week.
We
That's
need to like build up in character relationships, I think.
Yeah, and
I
that's-
agree.
That's what this is good for.
Especially considering the nature of how you were all brought together and the circumstances. I think there's, if nothing else, it's really trust building at this point.
I honestly tried to with Hagen, but it just turned into something that was awkward. I don't know how that.
That's
Hagen-
character building, though.
Hagen
That
is
is
very
completely
awkward.
character building.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was a great conversation.
I mean,
That
look at
was
my
a
best
very-
friend. He's weird.
Also,
What'd you
It was
say, Monkey?
I said, look at my best friend. He's weird. I'm gonna be awkward.
Yeah, fair enough.
But,
I think it was a great conversation.
I find it funny how
Yeah,
we're like
except for the part where I left
factionalizing.
out how Hagen got separated from Perforos if he believes so adamantly that Perforos is a good father.
Yep. You definitely left that out.
Yeah, I was like, dang it, I left it out. No,
Well,
it'll be the next time we have a chat.
Time to use
Hagen.
those in-character chats, you know.
yeah.
It's
True.
Yeah.
it's fine to spread things out anyway.
Can I just say I love that on the like loading screen or whatever it is for your stream monkey, everyone has like a solid expression that really characterizes their character, and then Adwenis is just like resting bee face.
I feel like that's accurate, though. Is that not accurate?
How can you tell I'm wearing a mask?
I can see the eyes.
I mean, it is 2020, so
We've learned to read eyes.
Everyone has learned to read the look of people's eyes.
Well, for people who are still watching the stream, thanks everybody for watching. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon with some Minecraft, and we're gonna go raid Mommy Belle because she's awesome.
Bye, monkey peoples.
Bye.
Goodbye to the stream.
And I'll be right back. Guys, hope you had a great time tonight. Sorry for no camera tonight. But it was a weird day. But if you guys will come raid in with Mommy Belle, she is currently playing some Minecraft. She is just an amazing person. She works a lot with kids in Minecraft to teach them things. She does a lot of modded custom mod packs and things that work with children to it's kind of like I don't know if it's like a daycare or a class, but it's a ton of fun. You can hover over the screen and you should see Clippy Raid there. You can get the chat, the raid call, and thank y'all for being here. We will be back. When are we gonna be back? We're gonna be back tomorrow. 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. GMT. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.